Wake up, it's the J.Soul morning show right here on Floor 62 Radio. Today I have a special guest joining me, and his name is Ethan. He goes to where I went to, my alma mater, Augusta University. And actually, it was Augusta State University when I was going there. But I'm joined with Ethan Balducci.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
Thanks for coming. I'm used to being interviews. I'm saying thanks for having me. So that's what I'm saying. Say, thanks for having me. But I really do feel honored to be here because y'all really are having me. Right now we're in the beautiful TVC lab at Augusta University.
Oh yeah, the spot, the studio.
They were just building this when I came here, So
wow.
That's why I wanted to major in film. I said, they have Pro Tools and they have cameras and all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, you can rent them out. I'm like, we need to use some of this stuff. And we used it very little because it was a very new program here at Augusta University. But now it seems like it's wide open.
Now it's getting some good use, yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your music journey and how that all began.
Oh, man. My music journey... Well, I come from a very musical family. Okay. Both sides of my family, a lot of musicians.
Mother and father, both musicians?
Well, so actually neither of them really. Like my dad likes to sing. Okay. My mom will play the wedding ring on the beer bottle.
Okay.
That's
her thing.
But neither of them are really musicians, but all of their siblings are all my uncles played in bands when I was a little kid, so
nice.
Grew up being able to go to the age appropriate shows and stuff. I wasn't going to bars and stuff as a kid.
You probably were.
Sneaking in. But yeah, no, I got to have a lot of musical influences that way. Mm-hmm. My grandpa was a drummer back in the day in the 60s. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a drummer, like the touring drummer for this band, Keith and the Wild Kingdom.
Keith and the Wild Kingdom.
They had like a big song in the 60s. So they toured with the Beach Boys and everything.
Nice.
That was like his big thing. Yeah.
So he was doing cat.
Oh, yeah.
I know the cadence.
Yeah. All that.
Okay, so your grandfather playing the drums, your uncle is in these bands. What instruments were they playing?
A lot of drummers. But yeah, everyone in my family, they have like the musical bone, if you will. So like sit at the piano and like be able to figure something out by ear, or like I don't know. My grandpa also played like the accordion, like random stuff.
Okay, so what
really cool.
What would you say your music? Well, okay, I have to play music, or I want to be an artist, or where did that start?
Man, I took piano lessons as a kid, but I did not like that. Like the reading notes and everything, that always freaked me out. But I liked, figuring out a tune. Mm-hmm. And then my uncles got me a 5-string bass when I was 10, and that was like
a 5-string bass.
Yeah, it was bigger than I was, taller than I was. Yeah.
Good.
So that was like the first instrument where I was like, this is mine, and like I want to learn it. Mm-hmm. I really like drew pictures of it before I was like,
wow.
And to draw, I was like, I just love the bass, but like I didn't learn it at first. I was just like drawing pictures of it and like, wow, this is mine. And then eventually, I started learning it.
So it was your 10th birthday. You got this bass. Mm-hmm. First, you didn't know how to play it. When would you say you started taking it serious? And were you say, I'm kind of good on this?
Oh man, I mean, always getting better. So hard to say when I like got good at it. But in middle school, I went to school at Aliyah Community School.
Okay, where was that?
It's in South Augusta, like on Peach Orchard Road.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, Augusta guy. Great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, born and raised. And so, yeah, like music ministry was always like, praise and worship outreach.
Got it.
So just like playing with all my classmates, and like my grandpa, again, was like, a teacher in the middle school.
Oh,
and
wow.
So, yeah, him at like homeroom in the morning. Yeah, like him playing guitar. So, like, music was always there, and like, yeah, playing for other people, always there.
Okay, now that had to be awesome. You're in middle school. You have your grandpa as one of the teachers. He used to be for the Beatles. He's playing guitar. You got music surrounded by.
Did I say Beatles? I meant to say Beach Boys earlier.
The Beach Boys.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure you said the Beach Boys.
Okay, got it. I want to get my facts
right. Let's get the facts all the way correct. So tell me about the music you're doing today.
Yeah. So got older. Learned to play a couple more instruments, started playing with my friends like out of high school, and like started a band with my buddies, Village Sticks.
Village Sticks.
Yeah, for anyone that remembers that was our band for a long while.
It's still going, or?
No, so we've moved on to other things. I mean,
Okay.
we put out some music that we had recorded a couple years ago,
Okay, great.
recently, but it's not like active per se.
Okay.
But yeah, so now me and those same buddies, we're playing in like a number of different groups together.
Good.
Yeah, Ethan Stallings' group, Dune Lane, and
how many groups are you in?
Dusty Angels is another
Okay.
group.
Yeah, I saw the flyer.
Yeah. Play with my buddy Forrest O'Quinn.
Okay.
And then my solo project, Alto Pablo.
Okay.
So that's
I follow the Alto Pablo IG.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, a lot of different musical projects. So always staying busy and never, just sticking to like one genre.
Okay.
Number of different
well, I
things.
will say that when I came up to Augusta University, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was looking for the rock stars, seeing who's doing what. Everybody, oh, you need to talk to Ethan. You need to talk to Ethan. Who is Ethan? So I've had a chance to meet you, and I've been impressed by the music that I've heard and the video. So we're going to talk about, doing the video up here. So how has your major here in this communications?
I'm actually a business major.
You're a business major, but you stay over here in the communications area.
Yeah. I'm the black sheep over here. Yeah.
So tell me about that. Tell me about being a business major over here in communications.
It's nice. I mean, I get to see what everyone in the communications department is up to, and
Okay.
there's a lot of talented people, a lot of busy people over here. So
Okay.
I feel right at home with people
Okay.
that are always doing something. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm like a business major concentrating in digital marketing.
Okay.
So I mean, there's a lot of overlaps. Like digital marketing, like putting stuff out there. There's a lot of overlaps. But
no matter what type of business you have now, you need to have some type of content or
Yeah.
some type of marketing or some merchandise, or it's
Yeah.
just a great idea. So that's actually honorable. I was always the musician who I came into the film. I was like, well, I know everything audio,
yeah.
but if I could tap into this film world. When I moved to Atlanta in 2008, I noticed everybody in film wanted to do some music.
Yeah.
So I ended up really getting back into like recording people, setting up studios, and
Yeah.
going into that whole world. Now with the social media age, everything is colliding and merging where, okay, we need the music and we need the film and we need people who need to know how to run the cameras and we need somebody who knows the lighting and we need this and a lot of times we get used to doing things by ourselves.
You got to wear a lot of different hats.
Right.
For sure.
But it takes a team. We have Jasmine and Nate.
Yes. Producers extraordinaire.
Helped us set this up today. So that's really what it takes. So tell me about your recent music video and how was it conceptualizing and working alongside fellow students from Augusta University?
It was great. Professor Bazell, he was the director, and got to work with a lot of talented people. I think there was like eight students on the crew.
Okay.
And everyone was kind of doing everything, manning the cameras, setting up lights, and we all worked on storyboarding together. So that was like, probably the scariest part for me was just showing up and like, I have these ideas, they're kind of out there.
Okay.
Just like being able, and then as soon as we started talking, I was like, oh, these are like creative people. Like, it's not weird to be like, share it. Like the initial idea is always like, you got to go out on a limb.
Okay.
But yeah.
No, but from what I saw in the music video, it looks like it took a team. So tell me about the pre-production process and what it was like. You said you had your professor as the director. And you get to do it at school. Did you have to pay anything?
I had to pay for classes and stuff, so I'm paying in tuition. But
you're paying in tuition. Yeah, so hey, look, we're a team. Professor, we should shoot this video.
Yeah,
so is this a song that you already had? Or?
Yeah, so it was from the record I put out last year, the self-titled Alto Pablo, and it was for track 6, Don't Question.
Okay.
And it's like, it's a love song, and it's about trust and everything. So we were just, throwing ideas around to find a way where you could like represent like a love story, not make it so like one-to-one of like, you know, we're just showing a love story, like have like, you know, some metaphors going on in there. So there's like, I have like a pineapple is on the cover of the record. So I knew I wanted to incorporate that.
Okay.
And yeah, so we got some pineapples in there.
In the silence, she don't even care. Opening to the things she don't ever seem to share. Oh, darling, please don't question my love. Oh, darling, please don't question my love. Though it goes on for longer than the two of them know. Casual conversation always seems to give them hope. Oh, darling, please don't question my love. Oh, darling, please don't question my love. Uneasy modern loving, people tend to bug out, hanging on to trust till one day she pull the rug out. And admittedly I've been that too. Pressure on me screaming, yeah, you ain't that dude. But no, I ain't that cool. Now that I've been through a couple heartbreakers later, now I'm in those shoes. So I can tell you I got nothing to prove. And if you need to ask a question, got an answer for you. But oh, darling, please don't question my love. Oh, darling, please don't question my love.
It looks great.
Yeah.
The music feels great. Did you produce it all yourself?
So I worked. I demoed it all myself, and then me and my good buddy Michael Hitchcock, who I play with in Dune Lane, recorded all that with him. Yeah, he was living in Nashville at the time, so we tracked all that in Nashville, and then he moved down to Atlanta after he got married, so we like finished mastering it at his house in Atlanta.
Wow. No, it sounds great, feels great, so no complaints on that. Being a senior at Augusta University, how do you believe the institution has shaped or supported your aspirations in film and music?
Oh, I mean, greatly. Like, I don't know if I'd have, that kind of opportunity anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of schools that have, good programs and everything, but like, they're bigger schools. You're not going to get the type of attention that I was able to get here.
Right.
And yeah, like to be able to like listen to my ideas, like as weird or out there as they might be, and like have a group of talented kids, like, yeah, be able to actualize it.
Right.
It was very dope.
Bring it into fruition. Because I'm looking at it as like, okay, that's kind of like a dream come true. You're in school, you have this music, and then you have this team around you that actually wants to assist you into making these ideas that come in your head.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting graded on it, so it's
and they're getting graded, so they have to do a great job.
Dream come true. They were going for the A. So.
Good. Yeah. And you also spoke about it being, not such a big school where you get lost in the sauce, where we can come into the TVC lab and we can set up the microphones and have extra cameras and lighting while there's classes going on, and I don't hear anything. It sounds great.
This is it's a beautiful space. I'm happy to, be able to work here, and yeah, great crew. Jasmine, A1 supervisor. I'm just shouting you out.
Just a good shout. She's like, what? Wasn't paying attention. Okay, so floor 62, we're going to be playing Pablo, alto Pablo. We're going to be playing the music. We're going to be shooting videos and just doing skits and having a lot of fun. So when you graduate, even before you graduate, there's going to be an opportunity for us to create something, When it comes to like the internet radio station and the like alumnus like me coming in and saying, hey, I want you to participate here, I've worked with all these people, I've had all this experience. What would you say that's like for you?
I mean, it's amazing, and it's like the real world, like that's what you're shooting to do, especially in communications or like music. You're trying to find people that you get along with and that you can work well with and make something cool with. Yeah, I mean, being in the local music scene, like that's all you're doing is like especially Augusta has a great music scene, so you're trying to make friends. Like you are making friends, and you're meeting talented people, and like these are people that you're gonna set up shows with in the future. You're gonna put on events with and be able to do, like I've been able to play at so many cool shows for like so many different benefits, and it's from making friends and like finding this community. So yeah,
they always say that your net worth is your net's work.
Yeah.
So having a network of people, I came here, I met with Amber, who's over the interns here, and she introduced me to a lot of the faculty, Mr. Arthur, and I met so many people, I don't want to start naming people. But you'll see me coming to the media production club, MPC. That's when you're a producer, MPC. That's how I remember that. Yeah. So tell me, do you produce tracks as well? Do you be on the MPC or what?
Oh man, like the 4x4.
The 4x4.
Yeah, I want one of those badly. I've got an Alesis. I've got a little Alesis keyboard. Yeah, no, I'm always making some music. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little home studio set up.
How do you find the balance between school, music, film, and all of it in your personal life?
The calendar is helpful.
Right. Just got to write it down, right?
Yeah, and Oh man.
Would you say it's a balance? It's not really balanced.
Sometimes for sure. Yeah, I mean, listening to your body for sure. Like, okay. I mean, pushing when you can. Like, you know, you're tired sometimes. Like yesterday, like I wanted to go to bed, but I knew I had a track that I wanted to work on.
Okay.
And I, you know, you push through, and the next thing you know, 4 hours has gone by, and like, okay, I'm glad I got the ball rolling because now I'm doing what I enjoy doing.
Right.
So as long as you take the effort to like push a little bit, you feed into your passion, and then your passion feeds back to you. You get energy from it.
I believe that because I'm working on writing some music as well, and sometimes we get that interruption, or you have to go over here. It's like, I was in the middle of that verse.
Yeah.
Or you don't even want to leave the room a lot of times.
There's inertia to it.
It's inertia to it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like in 2013, I was interning for a music studio called 12 in Atlanta, and we had Polo the Don, Lil Jon, Issa, all these big people who at the time, A.O. Varner and Monica, would come to the studio. And I remember people would not want to leave the studio.
No, yeah.
Like if they needed some food, they needed a runner. Somebody needed to go run and get the food. Someone needed to go run and get whatever they need. But we're not leaving the room.
Yeah, no.
Because
especially at that level too. I mean, you're probably paying for studio hours.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But no, I mean, but for the sake of keeping the energy alive, yeah,
it's an energy.
You got to stay in there.
So you've released music and you have a music video. Any plans for the full album? What can we expect? More collaborations with students from Augusta University, or what?
All of the above. Yeah, keep listening.
Okay. Just keep listening.
Still making music. Yeah.
What's the next project you're working on?
I'm working on another full-length album right now.
How many tracks? An hour long?
at least 12 tracks.
At least 12 tracks.
Maybe 60.
Okay.
12, anywhere from 12 to 60.
How many songs are you writing and producing, like, before you chop it down?
I don't. I'm always like coming up with ideas. Or ideas are always popping up, so I'm always grabbing my phone.
Okay.
I mean, you talk about like inertia. Like sometimes a melody comes to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, sometimes you make the mistake of being like, I'll remember that later. And then 5 minutes goes by,
like,
you don't.
What was that idea?
Yeah, I know. It was so fresh. And so yeah, having the voice memo app, just like getting the idea down, because you can reverse engineer it later. So I've got, folders in my voice. You can make folders in the voice memo app.
True.
So I've got for this next album. I mean, I was coming up with ideas since I was coming up with ideas for the first album.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of happening in parallel. So at this point, I have so many ideas.
This is so interesting because when I was talking to Amber, she's the one who said, Ethan. But I get it now because we have a lot of the similarities and synchronicities almost, but you were talking about this album that's coming out. I can't wait, and all these projects and all these melodies, 12 songs. So when do you think it'll come out? When is it?
I mean, I hate to put like an exact date on it because then then something will happen. But hopefully, like by this upcoming summer 2024.
Okay, so awesome. You're taking your time with it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's getting done, but I want it to be done.
Okay, so that I have some time to produce some tracks on there and maybe sing some songs.
Let's run it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure I had time to collaborate. Hey, now it's coming out tomorrow. So no. Okay, let's see where we were. So what's one key lesson you've learned so far in your journey that you would like to share with other artists or filmmakers?
Find good friends.
Find good friends, okay.
And I mean, friends, obviously, like find good friends in your life, but then especially in music, like friends is someone that you can collab with and someone that you can trust. Like it doesn't mean you even have to be like super buddy.
Right.
But like finding someone that you can trust is very important.
Okay. So is there a story that you had where you found somebody that you trust that helps you on your team, or Share something from that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Michael Hitchcock. Yeah, I mean, my best friend Andrew Fowler, he's been. We were in the same class from like K through 12, and like we've been in the same bands all throughout. So I mean, that's someone that I definitely trust. But Andrew's the one that introduced me to Michael.
Okay.
And yeah, Michael went to school at Belmont, so he has like a good like, and he went to Belmont up in Nashville for songwriting and music production. So he had like school learning, and so he knew what he was talking about. We met like 2020. We actually met 2019. He actually filled in for us on bass, and we had no clue who he was. Okay. And he filled in because our bass player got sick, and that was a funny story. But yeah. No, he did good. Michael, you did good.
Okay. Shout out to the musicians that can just come in.
Yeah.
At the last minute. So need that.
But then Andrew got reconnected with him, and then Andrew introduced me, and then I had just been like producing my own stuff in GarageBand, so I had like all this just like, do it yourself kind of information. And Michael had, I mean, he was definitely learning by himself also, but he also had like, book smarts, like he knew what he was talking about. So I think the cross pollination there of like finding someone like that, and then also like immediately we trusted each other with like our ideas, like we were able to show each other stuff that we were working on, and like the classic like, now it's not finished. Like it's not. I'm still. I got to do like this and everything. Like you guys. Finding someone like that.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from it is the key lesson is have the right people around you. Get some good friends, and I believe in that. Make some music with people that you like. Make music with your friends. There's been a time where me and my buddies were working on the Rihanna album. And she hasn't come out with music for a long time. And you working on Kanye. And what did Kanye say about the track? Oh, there's nothing more refreshing than controlling your own projects, doing music with people that you already know. That it's like, okay, if we publish this, we're not gonna have a problem with split sheets or registration or anything. It's
absolutely.
We're all educated and we want to make it work. A lot of times when you're working with people who are strangers, a lot of times they're like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like this idea. Let me take that with me.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So with the growing intersection of music and visual content, how do you see the future of music videos or the way that multimedia is being presented?
I mean, it's always changing for sure, and social media has done a lot of good and definitely a good bit of bad also.
Right.
In terms of like reducing everything to that word content. Like you were saying, I mean, it's a valid word. Like it does a good job of like explaining, like it's content. It's what you put out. But, it kind of reduces like what, like maybe like a sculptor, they're putting out content.
Okay.
And then a musician, they're putting out content. And then like a completely different kind of musician, they're all putting out content.
Right.
So they're all like in a way like fighting against each other, like for viewership.
Okay.
As opposed to like creating their unique community.
Okay.
Which I think when social media first started and it was way less like algorithm based, like it was, you could build your community and like those people would see what you were working on.
Right.
And now it's like, I mean, that still exists, but like most of your feed is like the algorithm.
Right.
So it's like, you got to make content that like caters to that. And for most people, like that's gonna take away from the art itself, or like it's hard to wear both hats at the same time.
Right, because at one point it's like I have to post this for an algorithm, but then I know that a lot of my followers aren't seeing this unless I either get ads or do these hashtags or a certain thing. So yeah, I feel like social media can hijack people's following. It's pretty much like, okay, we making money off of your following and your gifts and your things. So I think the only way to really combat that is like a Floor 62 radio where you can come in. We're not taking you down. In how Amazon started, where there was no, it was just a few different services, referral, shopping. Now that there's the TV, and they have their own shipping, and they have their own all of it, Amazon Prime and all of. So that's what I want to do with Floor 62. It starts off internet radio station, then Floor 62 TV, and Floor 62 the chat rooms, and just all of it, just building the community, having the events, putting out the content, having interviews with really cool people. So that's what it's really about. So let's go to are there any artists or filmmakers, either mainstream or indie, who inspire you or whom you'd like to collaborate with?
Oh man, yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about that.
In terms of filmmakers, I'd say Joe Kappa is someone that stands out. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
He's a funny dude, and he works with artists already. Like he has a very unique style. He'll do like cartoons. He'll also do like live action stuff with like paper mache heads and everything. It's pretty funny.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a promotional, like an album listen through for Toro y Moi's album last year, Mahal.
Okay.
And it's all these like paper mache headed people just like all sitting around listening to the album together. So it was a really, really unique idea.
Yeah.
But he has his humor in there. So that would be someone that would be fun to make a little film with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Oh man. Name that comes to mind right now is Bibio, this artist Bibio.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like an incredible instrumentalist.
Okay.
Yeah, has a great voice. I mean, he's dope, but like to be able to work with someone like that would be inspiring.
Yo, Bibio. Yeah. Let's do it. I'll make the track. I'll play sax or something on it. I can do some of that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Man.
Anyone else?
So many people. Yeah. Shit. You know how many musicians I listen to, and now that you ask me, I'm like, those are the only two people I can think of.
Well, it's fine. Maybe give me one more.
Yeah. Mac DeMarco. Mac DeMarco would be a great person to work with.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's running his own record label now. I think, he used to be the young guy on the scene. And, I mean, the industry just moves quickly. Like, everyone gets older, and I think he's aged gracefully with that.
Okay.
Like, by starting Mac's record label, I think he's curated something very cool. Similar to what you're talking about is, like, giving a voice to artists, not being this, like, big monolith kind of thing. But,
exactly.
I mean, serving that role that, these record companies are serving. Like, they do good things for artists, but then they turn around and do their big record label thing. So he's someone that would be cool to be able to work with him and get a one-on-one, really indie approach.
Okay, awesome. I will say, as far as just to piggyback on the record labels, because we do have friends at the record labels, and like some of the contracts have, they're in the record label's favor for the most part.
Right.
And now we have the DIY publishing, or we can go to DistroKid or TuneCore or Lander or CD Baby. There's so many platforms now for independent artists where we don't have to ask the labels for a whole lot, because you still, whether you're with the label or you're doing an indie, you have to do it all yourself. You still have to have that song. You still have to be likable. It's still,
right.
They can press all the buttons they want where you can be visible, but having that number one song or that record,
that's still on you.
That's still on you, and you still have to do it, and you have to pay for all of it. So whether you're with the major company or not, and usually when you're with the major company, you have a lot more expenses.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot more expectations from you.
But you have more opportunities also. There's a give and take.
It's definitely a give and take. I wouldn't mind collaborating with a record label and their partners. But I just, you really do have to know yourself and be grounded and have, like you said, the good people around you. That way when you're moving as a team and collaborating with bigger corporations, that you don't get lost in their ideas and what they see for you. You can say, hey, no, I want to do this. I like this. Let's try it like this. because especially when you're young and you're new, you may have these ideas and you say, oh, they've been doing it longer, so let me just follow their lead. But what I would give you, speaking from a 38-year-old who's been in your shoes, the way you see it needs to be done, you got to really fight for it, you know? Because I've always been, oh, well, they're Grand Hustle, so, you know, or they're Def Jam, or, you know, like, but
those were started by young people.
Right.
And they want fresh ideas.
They want some fresh ideas. So a lot of times, well, I don't know if they're gonna listen to me, or they'll listen to you, but make sure you speak up. Okay, so given your background, how do you think the landscape of promoting your music and your films has changed with the rising of the digital platforms? We touched on this a little bit more, but before. Let's talk about promoting the music and putting it out.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about, you know, the cons of social media and there being like this content, you know, kind of homogenization. But the pro is that you can, I mean, when you find your community, like you've never been able to be this connected with, you know, your fan. And that's a good thing. Like you can literally pop up in all these people in the palm of their hand.
Right.
So that is a good thing. And if you know.
Floor 62 Radio right now is we're almost at 3,000 followers on Instagram. And it does take a team. I have a graphic artist that I found on the internet, and she's amazing. I have a social media person who does some organic social things, you know, like some posts, follow some people, just to get some visibility. You know, I have a team of DJs and a group chat, and it's a lot that has to happen with Floor 62 Radio, and now having even more people and getting more people involved, it's gonna be a platform where so many people can touch. So many people can learn, and so many people can contribute. You agree?
I love it.
Can you talk about, okay, so let's go here. Any memorable moments or challenges you faced while shooting your music video?
The pineapple was so difficult to work with. I thought it was going to be cool having him on board. No. That is a diva. He's so full of himself. That the chopping up of the pineapple was unscripted, but he was just, you know, we had enough, and so Amber took the axe to him and popped up. No, I'm being silly, but I mean, really, it
went smooth.
It did go smooth. The hardest part was in the beginning was just sorting out the ideas.
Okay,
was because again I had some like outlandish ideas, and you know it took all of us sitting down and like
talk about outlandish. Don't just say outlandish ideas. So
I mean, I wanted there to be like a zombie apocalypse type thing going down, which we did not go with.
Okay.
I wanted my cat to be a character, like me and my brother's cat. I wanted it to be a character on there, and a lot of those we had to like weigh pros and cons and be like, okay, we're filming on campus with students, like we can't have a cat be running around.
Herding the cats on campus for a music video. Like, where do these cats come from?
Which I'm still going to do, so I'm still going to film a music video with my cat.
Yeah,
but
I heard it.
It didn't make sense to do it at that point in time.
Okay,
so.
Okay. Well, that's not outlandish, but pros and cons, I get it. Anything else outlandish?
Not so much outlandish.
Okay. So talk about the technical aspects of the music video. What equipment did you use, and what did you decide on, or how did you decide on the visual aesthetics?
We need Nate in here for the more technical side, because
we'll get Nate on the technical side.
Yeah.
As far as
with
the equipment.
Yeah. With the visual aesthetics, I think I had already really kind of fleshed that out with making the album. Like I had the cover for the album before I had any of the music, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like early 2018. Yeah, I had taken this picture, and I kind of had decided, it's like, the next thing I make, like, this is going to be the album cover. And then the songs came after that, and just really funny. But all the pictures I took on that trip where I wrote most of the songs, like a lot of the visual aesthetic came out from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just extrapolated from there on what I wanted to be seeing, like fuzzed out pink tones and like golden light. And yeah, a lot of nature. So all those elements came into play in the music video.
So that was in your brain for that, for the colors and all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Do you want me to jump in and say something about the technical side of the music video?
Do you have a mic? That's
yeah, we're recording you right now.
Yeah, I know. That's why we were talking about.
Yeah,
this.
what cameras do we use?
We use the Blackmagic studio cameras for that.
Oh, he's on camera too?
You were running the
Yeah. So
tell
basically for this music video, it was a class set up by Professor Bazell, an entire semester, and me along with I think a handful of other students.
It was like 7 or 8 of y'all, right?
Yeah, I think it was 7 of us. We came in together and we sat down and decided, okay, we basically chose from a list of artists here in Augusta, and Ethan was one of the people that we decided to choose in terms of like what music video we want to do. And we presented different ideas to Professor Bazell, and originally, I think you may have mentioned this, we had a whole bunch of different ideas. The one that I really enjoyed was the one about like an apocalyptic scenario, and
with the zombies.
Zombies, monsters, and he was digging out his old little cat out of the dirt and bringing it back home.
The cat was gonna be in the music video, but it did not happen.
I'm so upset that we didn't put that cat in the music video, but eventually we did come down to settling to do the pineapple, and that doesn't get picked up, does it?
I heard him a little bit. It's okay. We're busy. We're busy.
Okay,
so keep it rolling.
So we originally did come to the actual shooting of the pineapple, and I will say that I really enjoyed all the things that we shot in studio when it came to that. So all of the golden tones and the really pink tones. And I think particularly the girl that was singing and her lip sync was actually probably one of my favorite parts about the entire music video. And I particularly know I said that because I'm the one who did most of the editing for this music video, so it took me forever to get everything lined up absolutely perfectly.
Very familiar with all the shots.
Yes, yeah.
So we're definitely going to interview Nate next.
Oh yes.
I mean, sure.
But thank you so much, Nate. I know it takes a lot to edit video and put all that together, and especially being behind the scenes. A lot of times you do so much for an artist, and then you can't even get in the club. The artist getting in the club, you're like, wait a minute. Oh, he's good too. That's J.Soul. He can come in. Like, I'm the one who never mind.
That sounds like a true story.
It really is. It's a true story. You work like 8 hours, 10 hours on a track. You write the song and you get it to the artist. The artist is blown up, you know. So what did you do on the? Actually, I did everything but sing the song, really, you know. But it's like, if you're the artist of the song, everybody gets what you did. They go like, oh, this is your song? Oh, that's you sing? Or like, they get it, you know. Even if the video didn't have anything to do with but you showing up to the video shoot. Or the song didn't have anything to, hey, sing it like this or do it like this. Somebody was producing you. The artist is still the hero. And when you're behind the scenes, you really love it for the artist. You want them to be the hero, you know. But when it's your time to be the hero, you know, you have to have your own team and your own everything, you know. 2 more questions. So how do you handle feedback and criticism, especially with the nature of your work?
I love it. I love hearing what people hear about it.
Good.
I'll say this a lot, is like when I've like finished something and then I like haven't listened to it for a minute, like I can almost hear it through like 2 different lenses. Like, you know, you hear it as like the artist, like the producer, like the person that made it, and then you also have like your, you know, like your digesting ear. And I feel like you can hear it like through both lenses. So like to hear what someone else hears about it objectively, like that's a good thing, like that, because I want to hear it as a listener too. Like I listen to pop music, so like I want to know, you know, is this like good or bad? Like, what did you hate about it?
Have you always been like that, or was it a time where it's like, I'm kind of sensitive, I don't know if I should?
Yeah, no, I probably used to be way more sensitive.
Okay.
About it. Yeah.
So what was the shift? How did that shift?
Just the more you do it, the less personal you take it.
Right.
I guess. I mean, it's still personal, but like,
Right.
yeah, you get more. I mean, it's all subjective, but you also get more objective about it.
Mhm.
Like, especially with the production, you want
Right.
to, yeah, because you want to do a good job. So
Right.
feedback, if you can handle it, it's a good thing.
I have to like it first. Once I like it, now everybody can say what else they
Yeah.
want to say about it. Because in my experience, you walk into this room and they're like, oh man, we love this song. That's great. This is amazing. Then you walk in this room and it's like, you need to fix the mix, or man, can you put some more bass in it, or like, what's up with the reverb? And like, okay. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's a balance. Like you said, you want to get the feedback from both of us. So it's good that you like feedback. So lastly, for those tuning in who might not be familiar with your work, how do you describe your music style, and where can listeners find your tracks and video?
I would say it's like indie bedroom pop.
Okay.
And yeah, you can find it online where you listen to stuff. Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music.
Wait, so
YouTube.
indie bedroom pop.
Yeah.
I've never heard this genre, so you got.
Oh yeah.
So give it. It's like lo-fi or
Yeah, like medium-fi, like
Medium-fi.
someone with lo-fi capabilities doing the best they can.
going a little bit faster, so a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
melody.
Well, I mean, some of them are slow, but
Okay.
but no, yeah. I don't know if you've heard of Steve Lacy, but
Steve Lacy.
his early work
Mhm.
is definitely like that bedroom pop aesthetic.
Okay.
So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Balducci. He said like it rhymes like how everything's Gucci. That's how he said it to me. I love it.
all
It's
Gucci.
Floor 62 Radio. Do you want to leave them with anything? You want to say anything before we go? How was it? If you
Love each other.
Hey, y'all, love each other. I look forward to working some more with you, Ethan.
Thomas, can't wait, man.
this
Thanks
has
for
been-
having me.
This has been a great thing. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Nate, for your input. Thank you for the lights, and thank you for Augusta University, my alma mater, class of 07 one time.
Go Jags.
Go Jags. Thank y'all for listening to Floor 62 Radio, and we'll be right back after this. What you want to share with the people, man? I got you on here, man.
Man, I'm just, I'm excited about life, the future of the country, man. I just been watching the Olympics and, feeling inspired by Simone Biles, man, by the athletes, and inspired by, Kamala Harris running for president, and support that's gotten behind her, man. It's a new day, man. It's a new day, a new time, man. It's retrograde. It's like resetting the order of things, man, putting things back where they need to go, man. I think that's what the vibe is on. I think that's the vibe the planet is on, man. A lot of people moving in that direction, man. That's kind of, what I kind of hope we kind of can continue moving with,
Yeah, I believe in that, man. But it's exciting time for people who want to be excited.
Yeah, man, it's a choice, man. One thing I learned about life, man, there's a collective reality, man, but everybody's reality is different. Like, no matter what you're going through in life right now, like, you could be having a difficult time, but somebody might be having a great time, so they're not perceiving the world the same way. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how ugly the world get, man, you can't never not, recognize the beauty and the gift of what life is, man. And it's like, you focus on those things and put all the bullshit to the side, man, we'll be all right. My son called me, hey, what's up, man?
It's all good.
I'm working right now, but I just want to tell you I love you.
Right.
All right. Man, bye-bye.
When the son call, when your family call, you don't know how much time you got. So you got to make sure you talk to them.
That's right, man. They was telling me good night, I see we got Karen Gordon tuning in tonight, man.
Yeah.
People, man. I know Karen. Yeah.
KG in the building. When you get back to Cali, man, we gotta make some more music. And we got
No, definitely, man. I'm on the vibe, man. I definitely, man. And I'm getting close to getting ready to drop my project. So I'm just in a creative space, man. I'm at that point in life to where, that's all there is for me left to do. Like a lot of the things on my bucket list that I've always wanted to do, I did. So it's like now I'm just really purely having fun for the sake of having fun,
Hey, you saying there's a few things. What was on your bucket list that you hit?
Well, I mean, one of the things,
if you want to share,
when I was a shorty in school, man, growing up under the shadow of James Brown, man, and the sonic boom of the South, man, I always wanted to be in the entertainment business, and acting is what I chose professionally, man. And I've done the major films. I had a major TV show, major networks. I've done over 50 national commercials. I've been on off-Broadway theater. So it's like, all those things that I thought were like far-fetched, I accomplished in my life, Now I'm creating for myself. So it's kind of a fun place to be in now, to kind of like usher in and help the next generation tell the story, turn my experiences into works of art. That's kind of what I'm on,
Yeah. So what experiences would you say most impacted you, or was going to most impact the music that's coming out?
I have a song called Whiskey and Rose-Colored Glasses, and it's like, I've been in, Hollywood for over 22 years, and I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go. We just have the saying in LA, 1,000 people come to LA a day and 1,000 people leave a day. And, people often ask me, man, it's just like, how do you keep going? How do you make it through? And, one of the things I look at with me is the core group of friends that I have, that we never not celebrate just life, man. And no matter what we do, even if no matter what's going on, we're gonna take a shot of whiskey. We're gonna look at it through rose-colored glasses and just keep moving forward. And it's not, and it's a thing of, not disregarding some of the adversities you go through, but just not letting it stop you. Just like, it might be the situation, but this is not what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look at things better. I'm always look to the future. I'm not stuck in the right now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna keep moving, man. I'm gonna keep going forward. So that's kind of like the drive in that. And love, man, is like, the sacrifices you make in this business, man. It's like, there are relationships that I had that I didn't get to pursue because I was pursuing my dreams. That, you know what I'm saying? But those emotions, those feelings, those things never leave you. So it's like, okay, well, I put these things in this back burner, in this box in my heart while I'm doing all this other stuff. Now I'm at this place in life to where now I can unpack all of these feelings, all of these experiences, all of these expressions, all of these stories. It's okay, now what do I do with it? Let me turn it into something that someone else who may be going through some of the same things or having the same feelings can be like, hey, I'm not alone, or hey, I know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? I just want to share that, man. And I feel like, we don't see that side, especially of Black men, a lot. So that's kind of what I wanted to kind of do, express my vulnerability even through the music. It's kind of like my safe space in a sense.
What do you say to people say, well, why music and why right now?
Well, for me, music has always been there. Like, I started in music. When I was born in Augusta, Georgia, hometown of James Brown, godfather of soul, instrumental in, making music what it is today. And I grew up right behind T.W. Joseph football stadium in a place called Sunset Villa. So as young as I can remember, like a newborn baby, I could just hear the marching bands, the drums going. And one of the things I always liked, that even though I lived in the neighborhood and an environment where people dealt with so much pain and dealt with so much struggle, the joy that they had when that band would come through there and they would hear that music, or going to church and when the choir would sing and, and seeing how it made people feel. So it was like, I always wanted to be a part of that. Music made me feel good, and I wanted to create music that made people feel good. And for me right now, it was circumstance. We had COVID-19 hit, mostly, LA shut down, the industry shut down, and Right after COVID, we had a strike. And so, you know, a lot of, you know, entertainers, a lot of actors, a lot of people, you know, they fell in, you know, into depression, you know, different types of struggles, trying to make it through those dark times. And one of the things that I chose to do was to go back to my first love, and that was music. So, you know, I started writing down ideas, writing down songs. So it was my way of fighting back the darkness and, you know, using what God gave me to even bring light into my own life. And then I wanted to make music that I could sing along with my kids. You know, I don't really knock nobody's art or what's out there now, but I mean, most of what we play on the radio, most of what, you know, the culture is listening to right now really ain't kid friendly. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want.
But the kids still listening to it though.
Well, they don't have a choice. It's on the radio. Like they play stuff now on the radio they wouldn't play when we were young. So it's like
like where's the protest? Like where's the where's all
you know, you can't escape it, you know. NWA never got radio play. I think they might have played Expression stuff maybe once or twice, but outside of that, it didn't get on the radio. So even as a young mind, you knew how to compartmentalize certain things, which you don't really can see that. You know, my daughter, 4 years old, come home asking me questions. No, literally the other night, my daughter was in the bath, and I walked by. I heard her humming a song, and I'm like, I was listening when she was singing. She was in there, you know, make me swear. Make me what? I'm like, how do you even know this song? How do you even know this song? Like, how? You know, and that's a good song. That song ain't that's tame lyrically. Right. You know, it could have been WAP, but you know what I'm saying? But you know, or you know, one of Sexy Red joints. But even still, I'm just like, but you know this song.
You can really hear when kids start singing it though. When kids, you like, whoa, they're kind of like. Oh,
I had a homie, man. He was like, man, I remember he was like, man, I'm riding to take my son to school. He was like 6. He's like, yo, they love the Cocoa came on. And he like baking soda. I got baking soda. And we like, man, what's baking? He don't even know what baking soda's used for. But you know, it's. And you know, like I say, man, I'm an artist, so I believe that all art should be expressed, and artists should be able to feel free to express it. So I'm not about censorship. I'm more about balance, and I just feel that the industry isn't balanced. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't my fight. But my fight is just to create the art, and it end up where it ends up. You know.
Exactly.
You can't let that be a detriment. You can't let that deter you from, you know, fulfilling your purpose. And if the intentions are genuine, then you know it'll make it where it need to make it. You know. I do believe in a higher power, and I don't even believe. I mean, I know God exists for myself, so you know, I know whatever it is I put out there, it'll get to where it need to get. People are here who need to hear it. You know, it's always about inspiring that one person, man. Because that's all you can care about is that one, man. I never look to try to woo or persuade the masses in anything, because you know we learned, you know, a long time ago you can't really do that. Like, you know, things take off in this like wildfire is cool, but man, if you got that one person that you said you can inspire or make their life better, then you know that's worth it, man.
No, I
so people did that for me, man. You know, it was that one guy that would come and speak on career day, or that one person that you got a chance to meet, man. I'm like, hey, man, I always wanted to get into the business. What should I do? And they took the time out to talk to you, man. I don't feel like I talk about this cat enough, man, but one of the cats that's, you know, about the same age, man, but when I was a young man in the game, man, young shorty in the game, man, I met this cat, Jason Weaver, man, and you know, we drumline together, man, but I met Jason Weaver back in like 1996. Oh, wow. You know, I was fresh, green behind the ears. And of course, you know, he was already a vet in the game at that point, man, but I asked him a couple of questions, man. He gave me his card, and, you know, I would hit him up, man. He'd give me advice, dap me out, and, you know, we got pretty tight. And he's always looked out, man. So it's like stuff like that, man. And I would say he was very instrumental in how I approached the game early on, because I learned a lot of the rules and saw a lot of things he shared with me that he had went through. So, you know, each one teach one, you know.
Yeah, we got to say what's up to Brother Trav. He said, peace, brothers.
What up, Trav?
What's up, Augusta? Augusta's in the building.
Yeah, man. So...
Well, I don't want to take all your time, man. You know, are you coming in the Zoom room? With you,
man. I've been busy. You know, I've been on vacation doing family stuff and all over the Southeast. But I'm getting back locked in, focused on what, you know, we doing, man, and you know, just trying to give a new vibration to this new era, man. You know, and so
Well, you done definitely gave me an alley oop, man. I gotta say, well, just thank you for just being available. You know,
Man, it's cool, man. Yeah.
no, it's just you've been just a real blessing. You know, you might recognize some of the stuff behind me.
Man, look for me, man. You got good taste,
right?
man. You know. But no, man, it's like it's all love, man, and it's like, man, we all here together, man. It's like let's make the best of it, man. You know, like I said, I love the Olympics and this time of the year when seeing the world come together for sportsmanship and competition in a healthy way, and I feel like it can inspire us all to reach out and to just enjoy our time together and just enjoy this moment, man. You know, so many people that could have ever exist never will. I mean, you think about it.
Yeah, we're here for a real reason.
You're here for a real reason. So, you know, can't nobody do you like you, so make a noise. That's my message to anybody, all artists out there. Keep making noises, you know.
That's what's up. You heard him. He said, keep making noise. We gonna keep making noise. Hey, you want to leave him with anything, Shay, before you go?
Man, stream that retrograde. Listen, Saturn is in retrograde until November 7th. Mercury just went into retrograde, and y'all know all hell breaks loose when Mercury goes into retrograde. So, man, fire up the song, J.Soul, Shya, Retrograde. You listen to it about 7 times in a row. I'm telling you, it will rebalance your chakras, and you'll be ready for anything, man. That's it, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Take care.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, brother.
But this is the J.Soul Morning Show. This is Floor 62 Radio. I do have my tea. What kind of tea is this?
This is fresh mint ginger. Crush some mint, crush some ginger, brewed it in the water.
Okay. Now, I know I only have 30 minutes, so we'll make sure that we'll get your webinar on time. Y'all, it's a miracle that I even have Shya on the show. You know, you have to wait at least 24 to 48 business hours, not even regular hours, business hours to even get a mention from Shya, you know. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, Shya. Thank you for coming on the J.Soul Morning Show. How you doing this morning?
I feel blessed. I'm happy to be here on the J.Soul Morning Show.
Wonderful. I'm glad to have you. It's a pleasure to watch your journey since we had our interview in 2018. Wow. To start things off, how would you describe the growth you've experienced since then?
Since 2018, the growth has been magnificent.
Yeah.
Transformational.
And there's cats in the back, you know, so what?
That's Mojo. Mojo wants to be interviewed
shout out
as
to
well.
Mojo. We'll make use of it, you know. So if y'all hear some wonderful cats in the back, what's up to Mojo? No, 2018, what's been going on?
Yeah, so 2018 is funny because we're in my house right now doing this interview.
Right, this is a beautiful home.
And I got this house in 2018.
Yeah. 5 years ago.
Like 5 years ago. And so this was the beginning, I feel like, of building a stable foundation.
Okay.
So it's really been a place of growth and evolution for me, but so much has happened. I mean, spiritually, I've grown so much.
Yeah.
Travel back and forth to Nigeria, got on a path of Ifa. And
you don't even know where to start.
I don't know where to start.
Okay.
I'm like, work has shifted so much. Like, so much has changed. I feel like I'm a completely different person. And yet, like, that girl she's still here, but she's just evolved so much. I'm like, where do I begin?
Okay. That girl still traveling Nigeria. You just got back from Egypt when we set up this interview.
Yep.
I was looking to do an interview with you last month, you know, but I put it on the calendar what days I was available, and Shya picked October.
I picked October
12th.
October 12th.
And I said, okay.
Yeah, I remember it came through, and I was hyped for it, but I'm like, August. No, that August you sent it. So September I was in Egypt for most of the month. The beginning of September I was like purging. I wasn't feeling well. And then I was in Egypt for 14 days.
Okay. Well, look like you're feeling well and doing well right now. So great.
Now.
I want to say congratulations on the publication of Lineage of Love. Can you please tell the listeners what inspired you to write it?
my book kind of wrote itself because I'm an avid journaler. So I had like pages and pages of my journals. So it ended up being me going through those journals. And before I knew it, I was writing a book. I had written in 6 different journals, the pages and lessons spanning many cities and locations. I wrote under the trees in Atlanta, Georgia, and on top of mountains in Cape Town, South Africa, across bridges from Brooklyn to New Jersey, in the clouds while traveling cross country, at the foot of the ocean in Malibu, on the floor of the temple in Lagos, in between sips of tea in London, under the rising sun and the sounds of chanting prayers in Istanbul, in a treehouse in Mexico, and on the grass in Washington, D.C.
How long did it take you to write the book?
All in all, 4 years, but 2 intentional years of working at it and 2 years unknowingly working on it.
Wonderful. So what has been the response to it, and what message do you hope readers take away from it?
Yeah, the response has been amazing. I had 2 book signings. I had one in Brooklyn, where I'm from, and then I had one in Atlanta. Both beautiful. Everyone who reads the book or comes in contact with the book kind of has the same feedback that the book was like a warm hug for them, which makes me feel so good. And I think the message that I would want people to get, I wrote the book for those of us that are taking the journey of the soul. And for me, that means it's really walking along the path and the purpose that you came on earth to fulfill. So yeah, I want people to feel empowered when they read the book. I want them to feel comforted and know that like they're not on this journey alone. And I want people, the book is called, right, The Lineage of Love. And I say it's an ode to the ancestors, to my ancestors for sure, who helped me write the book. But I want people to also tap into their lineage and to their ancestors. So yeah, I want people to be left with a lot of questions, internal questions, and then feeling supported.
Looking at the book, reading the book, I do feel real personal with you. Things that you know, wisdom, you know, the way that you write, it's very inviting. Even before you had this book out, I would read the blog.
Yes.
Love lifted me.
Mm-hmm.
.blog.
Yes.
See, all that's from memory. That's not even in my notes right now.
You're a day one supporter.
Day one supporter. When you got your house,
right?
Now you're traveling to Egypt, going back and forth to Nigeria, writing the books. Because even in that 2018 interview, you said, "I'll write and I'll travel wherever I want to go," and like I'm seeing that happen for you right now. How did your own experiences and travels influence the narrative of the book?
Yeah, so my travels and experiences is the book. That's the book. It's really, like I said, it's a lot of journal entries. And I find that for me traveling, I've always, and earlier today, I went on a rabbit hole on my own Instagram page because I was looking for something. And I'm like, man, I be traveling. It didn't really hit me till I saw like how many places I've been. Right. But for me, traveling is transformation. It's evolution. It's an opportunity for me to experience myself newly, to experience people newly. And every time I travel, I never come back as the same human being. And so when I think about the lineage of love, a lot of my experiences were shaped by my travels. I talk about my first trip to Senegal and how that completely blew my mind as far as like religion and spirituality is concerned.
When was the first trip to Senegal?
It's 2013.
Okay.
I went to Senegal, which actually this is a Mojo is literally like
Mojo's
all in the mix right now.
Yeah.
Like
I'm dodging the
mix.
cat while she's talking.
Like so anyway, so 2013, this is a common point for us. I actually went to Senegal with Estelle. So Estelle has a foundation called the All of Me Foundation.
Okay.
And at the time I was working in the music industry, and the management company managed Estelle, and she had this brilliant idea to take these kids from Watts, California, to Senegal, where she's from.
Right.
And so I ended up being on that project, and it was amazing from start to finish, like getting the kids their passports and all that stuff, all the way up to getting them to Dakar. But yeah, so that was 2013, and that trip opened up so much for me. And I wrote about it in the book too. But yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. So we was talking about Senegal. We were talking really about all your travels and how all that inspired the book. Now you're also a birth doula.
Yes.
And you were the first person to ever tell me about a birth doula. I didn't know what this was. I didn't even know how to pronounce it before. But that's very personal and it's very profound. And just let the listeners know, the ones who haven't heard our earlier interview, what drew you to that profession.
For sure. So yeah, when we talked in 2018, I had just began my training as a doula. I had a friend, actually a mutual friend of ours, who was having a baby. She was intended to have a home birth, and she asked me if I'd come to the birth and support it. And long story short, the birth ended up being a hospital birth, to which I came to. And when the baby was born, something just like came over me. Like I couldn't even sleep that night. I was like, what was that? It was such a meaningful experience for me. And as someone who I typically don't like hospitals, I don't like any of that stuff, I felt so at home in that experience. And I'm sure I shared about it with friends. And then I had a friend ask me to be her doula. She was having a baby a few months later. And then I was like, okay, let me actually look this up. Like, what is a doula? What does a doula do?
So you were called to it way before you was like, oh, it wasn't like an aspiration.
No, it wasn't aspiration. It was never in my mind to do anything in that space. It's funny because my maternal grandmother, will always tell me like, oh, you're going to be a nurse. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't do hospitals. I don't do any of that. So yeah, this had called to me. And then once I realized like my community was in need of this, I said, well, let me get the proper training so that I can, support people in the way that they actually need to be supported. So that's how the doula journey began for me.
And also for those unfamiliar with the role of a doula, can you explain the significance in the birthing process?
Yeah, absolutely. So your doula is your advocate. Your doula is one way that Latham Thomas, who trained me in doula work, explained it to us, is like your doula is an event producer in so many ways. So if you look at your birth as like this event, this moment in time where life is coming from the spirit realm into the earthly realm, where moms are on the brink of life and death, when the baby's on the brink of life and death, your doula is that support person. It's your emotional support person. It's the person that is making sure that everything goes as close to plan as it possibly can. Right. So you bring your doula on and they work with you with comfort measures. They work with you to create like your birth preferences. What do you want your birth to look like? And doulas really hold that space for you. They hold your hand through the entire process. And so there's birth doulas, there's postpartum doulas, and a postpartum doula, which I also do. They'll come on after the baby's born, and they'll come to your home and really take care of mommy, like make sure that you have all that you need, that your mental, emotional health is in a good space. And then there's also death doulas, which I'm now getting my feet into. Okay. But that is the other side of birth coming into the world, is exiting. And there are doulas that support people with their transition from this realm. So, yeah, doulas are important. Right.
So thank you for clearing all that up. People have a little information about birth doulas. I know I didn't know much before, and I know a whole lot more, and I just learned even more from what you just told me. So let's go to your travels, okay? Yes. You've been to so many countries, and you just returned from Egypt. Can you share an outstanding memory or experience from your recent trip?
Yeah, I'm like, what? So much comes to mind. Egypt was out of this world. So I'm studying A Course in Miracles. It's a book that, look it up. But the whole idea of A Course in Miracles is oneness, I would say, is really understanding the truth of why we're here.
Okay.
So the theme, I would say, is nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Herein lies the peace of God. That's like the message in A Course in Miracles. So anyway, I'm studying it with the group Circles of Light Ministries.
Okay.
And the woman who runs, you know, and who's initiated this amazing ministry,
Okay.
her name is Isis.
Okay.
And so she does quarterly trips to Egypt. And they're mystery school trips. And so you're really going to Egypt to learn what's on the temple walls, to be in the presence of this ancient history.
Wow.
And to also like see what we're learning in A Course in Miracles on the temple walls. So that's the intention of the trip. And so there for 14 days. And I say that to say the most memorable part of the trip was getting it, was the clicking of seeing images on the temple walls
Yeah.
and seeing myself in those images.
Okay.
Right. And so there's this one image, it's like hard to describe, but while we're looking at the temple walls, I'm understanding that this is the path of, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
Oh, wow.
I shall fear no evil.
Okay.
So for me, on this path, as the initiate, you know, all of my travels, I feel like all these experiences are little initiations on this journey of life. So I feel like to be able to see myself on those temple walls was out of this world. You know, it was the most beautiful, meditative, transformational experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like being in those temples, and they're so massive, it puts everything in perspective, you know? So things that felt big, you know, material things that maybe feel really big in life, like I got to figure this out. Egypt was an opportunity to be like, no, you don't actually have to figure anything out. You know, only thing you need to do is live and stand in the truth of who you are.
Okay.
And everything is going to work itself out. So in so many words, that it's like hard to like really put it into an experience for people, but that was the highlight for me. It was like a shift in my being.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, that sounds amazing. Walking around and you're seeing the actual temples and you're seeing just the images. I can just see it. I feel like I'm there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
amazing.
that's
And then the
crazy.
Great Pyramids of Giza, like you don't, you know, we see the pictures and everything, but actually like looking up at those pyramids. We had one free day toward the end of the trip, and I went to the pyramids and I like got some photos, because the rest of the trip it was so meditative. We weren't really focused on photos or anything like that. We were just like taking it all in. So that day was also really special because I was able to like
Document
it and just like have that for myself. If I choose to share it, maybe I will, but
okay.
just,
Well,
you
if
know,
there's
have.
something that you could share with Floor 62 Radio, we'll post a little bit with this interview. Hopefully we'll get a little sneak peek of Egypt
Right, from my
and
lens.
the pyramids. Okay, so how has travel enriched your understanding of the world and influenced your personal and professional life?
Okay, this is good. And you're making me realize actually how much travel has impacted me and how much it shaped my lens.
Okay.
I think the way that it impacted me personally and probably like my worldview
Okay.
is there's so much life happening outside of our experience.
Four walls of
our
America.
4 walls, of America. And even like within the different cities in America, there's just so much happening. And I think that America, you know, no shade, we know this is a capitalist society.
Right.
And so everything is so material and so based on what it is that you
Capitalism,
do or what it is that you
money.
have or how much money you make. So for me, going to other countries that sometimes doesn't have the same luxuries that we have, but they have like joy, unspeakable joy, and they have community, and they have things that I think sometimes money, capitalism, and like an individualistic mindset kind of takes away.
Okay.
So for me, yeah, it makes me realize like you create life the way that you want it.
Right.
And like love, community, joy, peace are really like the luxuries of life, you know, and money's cool. Like money can get you some nice things. Every time I travel, I need money to get me to those places, right? So no shade on money and the material. But for me, I feel like travel puts it all in perspective, because money alone is never going to bring you the joy, the peace that we really, truly desire and then need, like on a soul level, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's another thing, is like just being a human being, you know, just we're the only species that has to worry about money, insurance, going to jail, you know, getting a ticket. Like, come on, man. You're going too fast.
It takes up so much of our mental space, so much of our creation. So, and another thing is food. Like, just experiencing all the different cultures, the different foods. I'm like, wow.
I'm a foodie.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I feel you. Is there a country that's like near and dear to your heart? It's like,
yeah, there's so many. Mexico for sure. Like, no one can tell me I'm not Mexican somewhere down the line. I love Mexico. Like, I feel at home in Mexico every time I go. I love the food. I love the culture. I love the history.
Yeah.
Like the indigenous practices all day. And then there's so many countries in Africa. Like, I love Cape Town, Senegal. It's so many. So many have just like shaped me. I'm like, how do I just choose one?
How do you just choose one? Okay, good. So let's go to some personal reflections here. Looking back to our interview in 2018, so much of what you set out to do has come to fruition. How does it feel to see your visions coming true?
Wow. Honestly, I got to thank you, J.Soul, for really bringing it to my attention, because sometimes, going back to what I was saying, I think sometimes we're so in the weeds of our life, we don't even realize that, like, oh, I said I was going to do this and I actually did it.
Right.
To me, it's just like, okay, you know, what else? Because there's other things that's come up. There's other visions and goals that I have now. And so this is a good opportunity for me to, like, really sit in the gratitude. And it feels surreal a bit, because for me, I always feel like the past 5 years, most of my changes happen internally. Like, I'm so much more confident and so much more at peace and just like stable in my being, you know, like it's hard for me. There's not much wavering anymore, I would say. I just feel really settled in who I am. And so I don't always know that like transfers externally, or how that transfers externally. But anyway, you're making me realize that it does. And so I feel really proud of myself, and I feel really grateful for the things that I have been able to accomplish, from the book to continuing this doula journey to even my blog has now I'm on this journey home. I have a Substack. Because my conversation.
Yeah, I think I pay $8 a month for something. Shya got me.
No, I haven't turned on my paid yet. But you did pledge, which
I have
thank
pledged.
You. Yeah, I had a few close friends who I really appreciate pledged that when I turn on my subscriptions, they'd pay to read my writing. So one day I'm gonna turn it on.
Free,
right, you're getting free. One day I'm gonna turn it on, and then they're gonna take the money out your account. So thank you for that reminder.
Okay. Now we're almost done, but we gotta talk about Atlanta, because you chose to purchase. We're in your home in Atlanta.
Yeah.
What made you choose Atlanta, and has that shaped your life?
Yeah, shout out to Atlanta, man.
ATL,
shouty. I love Atlanta. So I did not choose Atlanta. Atlanta was not on my short list of places to live. Honestly, I was in New York. I had just recently moved to Harlem, and I was good, but I got a job opportunity here.
Okay.
And at the time, it really felt like a dream job. It was like really perfect. And so I was like, you know what? I'll try out a new city. I'll give it 2 years and I'll see. And so.
What year was that?
This was 2013.
Okay.
This was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So the 2 years came and went, obviously.
Plus 8.
Plus 8, and I'm still here. Yeah. So what Atlanta has been for me, it's so funny, because going back to the lineage of love and people saying like, oh, the book felt like a hug. That's what Atlanta is for me. Okay. Atlanta it feels like big grandma energy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like this place has really, really taken care of me and given me the space to grow and come into myself. And it shifted everything. I mean, the community that I've met here, the type of stability that I was, and I keep saying stability because I don't know if anybody's into astrology. North Node, that's like your destiny. And my North Node is in Taurus.
Okay.
So it's so important for me to really use my 5 senses and to develop a foundation that feels stable.
Right.
And that's what Atlanta gave me.
Nice.
Nature, my love for nature, the ability to create a home that feels safe and welcoming. So I will give Atlanta its praises all day.
Right.
I actually, because someone asked me, like, how long do you think you'll be in Atlanta? And I'm like, forever in some capacity. Like, I think no matter where I go, no matter where I travel, Atlanta's headquarters. Like, I'm always going to return
ATL headquarters.
to ATL.
That's all I need to hear, man. Shy ain't going nowhere.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm always have roots in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, even when you was in Egypt, I was getting the, it was a blue, get the blue bubble.
Yeah.
she was like, I got Wi-Fi. I said, okay, cool.
Right.
But
In and out.
I didn't bother her. I just said, enjoy her trip.
Thank you.
Even though she could receive messages, So let's go. What's next for Shya? Any upcoming projects or goals you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. So what's next for me is a mystery.
Okay, good.
I just wrote a post yesterday on this journey home called Follow the Green Light.
Yeah.
And that's really like follow your heart. And that's what I'm doing. I'm putting one foot in front of the other, following my heart. I don't have a bunch of like goals at the moment that I feel like, I need to reach. But there are still so many like creative projects within me that I really do. I look forward to bringing them into existence.
Okay.
And so one of them that I will share is creating a sacred space to nurture the divine feminine.
Okay.
And I don't know yet how that's going to play out, but I know woman's work is my work. Like I'm a girl's girl all day.
Yeah.
And life has put me on this path of like, whether it's volunteering with the Power of Girls, which is a youth group here in Atlanta, or doing doula work, so much surrounds, women. And I feel like when women and the feminine is in a good space, then our world, our communities are in a good space.
Good.
So I'm listening on what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming soon. Welcome home is what I'll say to that. And it'll be a space. I don't know what type.
Home?
Welcome home.
Or home.
So that's the play on words, the double entendre. Shout out to Hove. Okay. Welcome home.
Okay.
Welcome home.
Okay, got it. I've had Shyah Dickerson, my very best friend, on the J.Soul Morning Show.
Love you. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you so much
me.
for coming. I'm not ready to go. I know you got things to do. I'm so glad we was able to get here and make it in time. Hey, it's the J.Soul Morning Show, and we'll be back after this.
Peace. I had a book signing in Atlanta. Such a joyous occasion. 44th and 3rd bookseller hosted, cutest Black-owned independent bookstore in the West End, celebrating the Black experience. They have so many classic titles, so many gems on their shelves. They have Baldwin, Zora Neale Hurston, Bell Hooks, Octavia Butler, and I'm so proud that the Lineage of Love gets to be included among some of my favorites. The owner, Miss Cheryl, introduced me. I got to share a little bit about my creative process, and then I did a Q&A. Friends from all walks of life showed up. My family flew in from New York. Childhood friends, Howard friends I've gained since being in Atlanta. My heart is so full. Also, shout out to Dr. Irwin from Morehouse School of Medicine. He bought 10 books and left me with 5 for students who may not be able to purchase. If you know me, you know I live for a good give back moment. I really just loved everything about the book signing. Thank you, everyone, for showing up for me, for showing up for yourselves. Oh, and I can't forget to shout out my girl Christian with the social pedigree on the aesthetics. That girl good. Beautiful bouquet, beautiful backdrop for a beautiful day. The Lineage of Love is now available at 44th and 3rd Bookseller and wherever books are sold. So if you haven't already, I hope you grab your copy.
Wake up, man. It's the J.Soul Morning Show. I told y'all I had a brand new guest for y'all, a very special guest. Man, he's from Cartersville, but he's been all over the place performing, writing for people like Future, Jacquees, some of your favorite people. I've worked with him, and I'm very honored to have my brother joining with me today, man. K Major. What's up, man?
How you feeling?
Where you at today?
Man, I'm in Atlanta. I just got here. I've been traveling. I went to New Orleans to see my family. Like my dad, my sister live there. She got a nonprofit out there that's doing well. So I went out there to check on her and visit them. And now I'm back here for the new week, ready to get started. You know how it go.
Okay, you got a sister with a nonprofit in New Orleans?
Yeah, so my sister has a nonprofit called Mission Rebirth, and she was previously incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? Wrongfully accused, but incarcerated. Right. And, you know, when you got things on your record that make you, it's hard to recover. So you got people that's got felonies on their record or whatever on their record, but they good people. They working people with degrees or whatever. And then, you know, when they try to work past that point, you can't really get hired anywhere. You got to kind of start over. And it's like a burden on you. Like you can never be better. Even when you're better, you can never be better. So she created a nonprofit to help those people get job interviews, show them different ways to maneuver in the ways that she made it, you know what I'm saying, throughout that. And even going to get our record expunged and, you know, different things like that, and getting multiple degrees and studying at Xavier. That's something that she's been doing. So it's became big to where she's partnered with the city, like the mayor, the sheriff's department, a lot of people down there. And it's just expanded massively.
I've got to go check that out, man, because you know that this is so in line with the work that me and a lot of people close to me do. And I had no idea. I didn't even know you had a sister, man. So it's good we having this interview.
Oh
now,
yeah, my sister's the oldest of us all. Okay. She's the oldest of three. So she kind of set the foundation for us all. And you know, she ran across some hard times in her life to where she was helping people and was in the wrong crowd, and she, you know, took full responsibility. But the blessing, you know, it's like a full circle moment happening right now where the same people who, you know, accused her and locked her up and did all that are the same people that's granting her grants and things and such, and partnering with her to do better in the community. So it's amazing to see, you know, it's God's work, definitely.
Yeah, God said he'll make your enemies the footstool now. So.
And that's exactly what I'm seeing happen, bro. On a daily.
That's what's up. Let's go to your music journey, because I read your bio too, 15 years old, Cartersville. So give me some of your music background and give us some of your journey.
Yeah, man. I started doing music when I was 12 years old, 12, 13 in Cartersville, Georgia. And, you know, I was playing sports at first. I was in the band in high school, and I love music. You know, my dad did bookings.
What did you play in the band, real quick, man?
So I started on trumpet.
Okay.
My 8th grade year, my 7th grade year, and I hated it. I learned it. This is how I was introduced to learning reading music. But
gotcha.
All the cool kids was in drumline. You know, all the black kids, especially. And it was like, yo, all my homies in drumline. What's up? Why am I doing? The trumpet was shiny at first, but the drums was just crazy. You know, it was a culture, and drumline that came out that year.
True.
So at this point, like, I played trumpet. They didn't allow you to switch instruments, but my mom cornered the music teacher in Walmart, got me a tryout, and so all summer I self-taught myself. We couldn't afford lessons. I had to catch up with the kids. They already had a year ahead of me, so I had to catch up. And I went to like the people older than me to learn over the summer and trained, and then I became a snare drummer.
Okay.
You know, and I was in marching band, and I stood strong with it. But I also was rapping. You know, I was touching with raps and burning CDs and recording myself and making beats. I was experimenting with that at a young age, and had a lot of peers around me who was doing the same thing. Just in a small town, we didn't have a way out. So,
how small is Cartersville? Like,
I mean, now it's grown. You know, we got people like Trevor Lawrence, Ashton Hagens. Even on the music side, we got people like Brian Sannon. He's got crazy TikTok following. He just dropped. He's been dropping hella records that's streaming millions. You know what I'm saying? And he shot a video at our movie theater. That's unheard of. Like, but where it was when I was growing up was like the population was maybe 60, 70,000 people, and out of that you maybe had like 10,000 black people. We had 3 schools there. Small town, barely hit a radio station in Atlanta. No music outlet at all. Like, you just rapped. That was it. Like when you sold product to people in the city. Other than that, making it big was like a dream, really a dream.
So how did you get out of that?
Yeah, so I'm working at McDonald's from 2005, 6. I'm working at McDonald's off the exit, right off the exit 288, still there in Cartersville. And DJ Yola at the time has a song called I Ain't Gonna Let Up. That's out in Atlanta. MySpace is showing us this. You know what I'm saying? MySpace is where you're seeing all this at. YouTube really ain't the thing yet. It's MySpace. So we're on MySpace finding out about artists, and all of a sudden I look up, I'm clocking out of work, about to get out of work, and I see DJ Yola. I'm like, hey, you look familiar. I'm like, hey, DJ Yola. So he had his security, his management team, they had jewelry on, things like that. So I walked up to the guy with the jewelry on. His name was Big Ron, and that was his manager. He also, you know, fast forward, Big Ron was managing Shawty Red, Fat Boy, the producer. These people at the time. And he had a company partner with Fat Boy in called Black Shield. So, you know, they were together. I didn't really know who Fat Boy was or Shawty Red like that. I just knew Yellow. Right. You know, I wasn't in the production line yet. I was making beats, but I wasn't big on. If you want Timberland, Swiss Beats, For Real, like those names that I really didn't know. You know, I didn't know the South like Toon or Drummer Boy, like these names, like like the brand of producers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I meet them. I got, you know, 14-year-old energy, 15-year-old energy. I'm like, yo, I'm the hottest guy in the city. Like, you need to listen to my music. Like, what's up? But I didn't go to the artist. I knew better than that. I went to the manager, and he was like, man, on my face. You know, but I worked at McDonald's, so I had some pull in there. So I was like, well, look, man, McDonald's on me. You know what I'm saying? And I pay for all the McDonald's if you listen to my music. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I ended up giving them a discount, getting the McDonald's discount, you know. And while they was bagging up all them large orders and stuff, I was off of work. So I went to the car with the manager and played him some songs, and he was mind blown. He was like, wait, you talented for real. Like, this is hard. Like, bro, we got a boom, boom, boom. Like, where your parents at? You know, like, so that ended up being my first situation, my first management deal, production deal. It wasn't for beats. It was just being an artist. You know, I went by like K-Swag back then or something.
K-Swag, I saw that.
I was Young Star, and I was KB the Youngster. And then it was K-Swag, then K-Major.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so that was my K-Swag era. And yeah, I was introduced to the industry at that point. I was around acts like Gucci, and, you know, R. Kelly had signed this artist at the time. Kalina from Dirty Money was writing a lot of that stuff. Yin Yang Twins, Mike Jones, Waka, the beginning of Waka, Southside, before he made beats and stuff.
And how old were you right here?
I'm like 14, 15 years old.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
I, as a matter of fact, I was 16 because I had just started driving.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I'm 16 because I can drive to Atlanta on my own. At first, I couldn't, so it was like a transition between 15 and 16. At first, I couldn't drive when I first met them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
I really wasn't driving. I think I had my learners or something, or my parents let me drive, but I wasn't supposed to. It was something crazy, but I was that young, man. I had a song called When I Start Driving on one of them songs that I played them.
I gotta hear the old K-Swag music. You gotta
my city know. Like, people from Cartersville definitely know. They definitely know what's going on with that. They like, okay, well, you remember all this. So yeah, from there, man, I continued to go to high school in my city. It was more of a business for me at that point. Not really strong business, just like I knew I was a brand. I knew I was a product. I feel like I had a deal. You know what I'm saying? I got a record deal now, so I'm moving different. So I had my crew with me. I started 3MG, my own company, and it was just kind of like, you 3MG, you 3MG, we 3MG, this 3MG. You know, at first. Then I was in a group called 3MG where it was me and my homie. And we named ourselves 3MG. And it was me and an artist named Chosen One. I got a big story, long story, bro. But that turned into me and him. This is the same era of time. Signed the Fat Boy and Big Ron and them. That deal lasts 2 years. I get out of that deal. Nothing happens in that deal for real. I just really learned what the industry is, and I'm learning this like new, like fresh, like freshman. So right after that, I feel like I had more confidence getting out that deal to kind of like do it myself and get back to some of my old ways of dropping music and selling it because I was making money, but also knowing it's a bigger world out here. So that's when me and Anthony decided to be a group. And this is like my junior, senior year of high school. And then ongoing, or not junior, senior year, I'm going to say senior year. Yeah, senior year past that point, it was me and Anthony. And we did that for 2-3 years, and we did shows in Atlanta. Now my brother is in Atlanta a lot. My older brother is in Atlanta, so he kind of managing us at the time and helping us set the LLCs up. This is like 2009 now. He helping us get the LLC for 3MG Entertainment, and boom, boom, boom. And then right when this happens, we don't have no budget. We don't have nothing going on. We just all my brother putting his money in. Like, he had a job running 200 here and helping with CDs, and then me having to get my hustle on. And this was going on at this time. And
you gotta send me some pictures and some videos and stuff. We're gonna run it through while we talk.
Yeah, it's so much. I'm pulling it. I actively been pulling it for the last 3 years, trying to pull different stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about telling the stories. You know, nobody gonna tell our stories like we can tell our stories. And a lot of times when people do be telling some of the story and then they kind of leave, you're like, oh yeah, okay, y'all didn't want to talk about Scream, or y'all didn't want to, you didn't want to talk about K Major, like.
Yeah, I try exactly. I get left out of a lot of people's stories, and so I try to tell mine and try to make sure I remember everybody that was a part. Of course, sometimes you're not gonna remember. I remember everybody, but in storytelling mode, sometimes you're telling general storylines than a specific, like who brung you here, who took you here. But a lot of people played a part, whether it was small and big in my career. I know that for a fact. So I know it's a lot of people out here that's just like, yeah, I drove into the studio, or yeah, I did this, and I'm like, yeah, I was moving as a kid. I'm everywhere doing everything. But yeah, me and Ant was in Atlanta.
You and Ant was in Atlanta. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, me and Ant was in Atlanta, man, and that just turned into just continuing learning. If I'm to summarize it, I'm just learning. And this person, my manager now, and Nina Nine from Sirius Radio, and then Coach K, my manager for a little bit, and then I'm independent again, and I got an investor. Like, I kind of been through a lot of that, to figure out who I am today.
Right. You talked about learning, so I wanted to get maybe like 2 or 3 things you would say that you learned from the industry dealing. You've been around since you were 14, and I guess you're about 33 now. 33. Born in '91. So give them some gems.
Well, the biggest one I learned, I can't even say biggest, but the one I'm on right now, where I put a magnifying glass, is age doesn't matter in this industry. I think a lot of us start off wanting that record deal. Like, I want to sign a record deal, but I don't think we really know what that is. I think that we just put 2 things together. Like, most of the time people say they signed a record deal, now they got a Bentley outside. I think that's what happens, and in that is a lot of pressure that comes with that. Because everybody's hustling, right? So you got the managers and people that's going to tell you need to be a certain age to get in the game. But really, that's just like, you need to be young enough for me to fuck you over. You know what I'm saying? And once you get old enough for me not to fuck you over, now you're a threat. You know what I'm saying? Now you're competition, and it's not so friendly. So I think that's what I learned. I came in young, so coming in young, everybody loves the young guy. Everybody can make some money with the young guy. It's effortless. It's just like you just be yourself. You be a gullible kid who don't know, like, hey, what's that? And they like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's just kind of that. And then as you progress, I think when I hit the 25 meter, that's when I saw the reality, and I kind of just started turning my face at the game. It was kind of like, this is category 5 time. Now the game is like, oh, how old is he? 25. Oh, he's too old. Like, at 25? Like, what? Like, I'm in the middle of the culture. Like, the girls like me. Like, I go outside. Like, I don't have a problem in today's society. I don't know who's making this decision, but at that point, I deciphered the game of what it is. It's a business. Man, really just, obtaining value, self-value. Self-value. You could be valuable to different people in the industry, and they'll use you for that. I think this far that people have seen I'm a great songwriter and producer. So when people look at me, they lean more towards what they benefit off of for me, and not really who I am. It takes my focus off, because you got to survive, right? You gotta make money to pay your rent and do things like that, but you also got to be fully yourself. And that decision sometimes is what I fought with a lot. So that's the biggest thing I learned. Just accept me for who I am, how I like to wear my hair, how I like to dress. What do I like to express? Because it's expression. It's not a systematic approach that should be, that sometimes we see in music where it's like, sound like this, be like this, dress like this, hop and dance like this, or you're not a star. So like, what's a star? Like, exactly.
What's a hit?
What's a superstar? and if people know what this is and how to build them, then why don't we have a new superstar every week?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I put all these things together in my head over the years of going crazy, quitting, giving up on myself, and now I'm kind of just coasting at my own pace of like, I think self-discovery. I want to say like I'm rediscovering myself, like what I love, what I like to do.
Okay, we'll talk about that. What's some of the things
Yeah.
you discovered that you like to do that's going on now?
Music style. I feel like I've been limited in music. Even to my peers, and I'm talking to people, I'm like, I can't continue to do the same things that I've done. I do like doing those things. I see what people like, but I see what people like, you know. So sometimes your people around you will push a certain thing, like a certain agenda. You sound like this, or I love this about you, or okay, I love this about you, and I fall for those, you know, things because you're always searching for what people like, right? But the fans tell me like, hey, we like all of you. Like we like when you rap, we like when you sing, we like when you make beats, we like all of that. So a lot of times in my past, I would produce for Future or Usher, Chris Brown, Jacquees, whatever. But you listen to K Major albums, and I would only produce one song. You know, I would kind of be discouraged when it came to my stuff, right? Or I would let people come in and do my stuff. But it's just like at a certain point, you realize like, wait, I'm great. Like people can help, we can collaborate, but I run this shit. Like this,
I feel you.
Yeah, like I make the beats around this motherfucker, like, cause it's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I can, and God gave me that ability. Like He gave me the ability to be a producer and play instruments and post produce and engineer and mix and master. And sometimes you just have people like, I guess I don't know. It's like, hey, I want to be involved, but he do so much. So what can I do? And for a lot of times, I would give people those positions. Oh, you can make the beat, bro. Oh, no, you can do this. And now I'm kind of I'm focused like listen to these ideas. This is what I'm thinking, and see what you can add to, or you can come to the table with something. But I'm always gonna put my like, nah, that's not what I'm on right now, or this is what I'm on, and I keep that. Like I set that precedent of what's going on.
Tell me, and I like that. I like that, and that's what I think. That's what artists need to be for real. You know, like I think the freer an artist can be, and not being told what to do, or you know, learn how to engineer, learn how to record, just learn how to write a B section, or you know, like
And to piggyback off that, I don't even think that is really like so much of that. I think it's more like my campaign right now that I'm on is men lie, women lie, right?
Okay.
But it's kind of like, why do we lie? Right? Why do we lie? Is all lying negative? Sometimes we lie for a positive, sometimes we lie for a negative. But lying is lying. We all agree that a lie is a lie. Like we know what a lie is, but do we know what a lie does? Like if the public really knew everything, could we survive? So are we lied to for our survival? You know what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, like, in this industry, I don't think that people know how to decipher the truth and lies, right?
Okay.
And so, like, we don't know why the lie is being presented. And we need to focus on why the lie is there and not that it's a lie. Like, we can identify, we can feel a lie. We can be like, you lying, or that's a lie. I don't feel right about what you said. But can you decipher that that's a real lie? Or, like, can you decipher why that lie is present? Because sometimes you need to be lied to. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a conversation that I'm starting, man. It's just a conversation I'm starting. I think that a lot of people want to know why people lie. Women want to know why men lie. Men want to know why women lie. And then at jobs, we want to know why we lie to. As we survive every day, we want to know why we're lied to about the food we eat and the things that we do. So that's the campaign I'm on right now. Men lie, women lie.
So what's your solution for this? What's
like I said, I think that it's a balance of life. I think that it's gonna happen. I think that the person that even judges the liar is a liar.
The person who judges the liar is a liar.
Is a liar.
Okay.
In a way, you might just not feel like your lie is for a negative reason. I'm not gonna tell my mom this, or I'm not gonna tell this person this because I don't want them to crash out. You know, I don't want to tell people I got money because I don't want everybody asking me for something. You know, so every lie isn't just to misdirect in a negative way. Sometimes it's just for everybody's well-being. Because if you start asking me for too much shit, I'm gonna cut you off. So I'd rather just tell you I'm not gonna take you to have anything. We're just gonna act normal, right? And see how you really feel about me. Like sometimes within a lie you'll find the truth. So a lot of times, so I think that's what it is. I'm not saying it's okay to lie in every situation. I'm just saying that that's what the answer is. I don't think we'll ever find some answers as far as it being one thing with billions of people on the planet.
It also brings up the question, what really is the truth? what really is the truth, other than what we agree on.
And that's the search, and that's the search that everybody is on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that you should work for yourself? Is it true that you should work for other people? Because both you survive and both you could pay your bills, but it's just like some people don't want Lamborghinis. Some people content with what they got and they'll go work a job and work there. My grandmother worked for 60 years straight, didn't complain. You know, because at one point Black people couldn't even work all jobs, right? We were slaves. So having a job at one point was like, damn, hell yeah, we made it, right? And now in culture, it's like entrepreneurship is the new thing. And so it's like having a job, is that cool to have or whatever? But I think we're getting back to a point to now where people are like, yo, if we don't work, we ain't gonna eat. And robots got to replace us. So we gotta act fast, right? I think we're getting to that. So that's where we at with it, man. We're in search of the truth. And I feel like your truth is who you are. Your intention, your spirit, right? Like, when the things that you do that you don't tell yourself to do.
Yeah, your habits.
Your habits, your peace, your happiness, your circle, your inner core, like nothing matters but what you feel in this space. I think that's what we all searching for, and I think that's the truth. The truth is I don't like going to the club. The truth is I don't even like hanging with y'all like that. Y'all don't represent what I represent. The truth is I don't like doing this. The truth is this, but the lie is a survival tactic that we use to survive. And it's happening all around us. I see people that ain't really who they are, you know, but to make a little money, they got to be that, right? And at the end of the day, they just trying to pay their bills and make it to the next day. So I don't judge people. I just know that we have to live more in truth. Like, you know, and if we search for that within ourselves, then you'll find that a lot of things that you do, you don't even like doing. You're doing it for somebody else. Do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So you look at yourself and you value yourself. Like you said, when we got on the phone, you was like, yeah, man, I'm in a space to where I'm me, you know? Like this is me. Like, this is mine. This is me. This is what I'm doing. I feel good about it. It's my calling. It's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. I think that's the energy that we all search for.
That's right. That's right. Now, we've all had some adversity and things had to shift. You know, do you share something where you feel like in the music journey, this happened and then I had to like bounce back and, you know?
Yeah, I think that I started to work with my idols. You know, a lot of my idols, a lot of people that I looked up to coming in the game for what they were doing, right? And then I learned like, okay, that's the PR version. That's kind of like we've only been told the positives, right? They covered up the negatives as much as they could. As many of the negatives as they could, they covered, but the positives is what we've seen out of people at the highest level. But then you get around those people and you're exposed to the negatives and you realize that we're all human. Like, we're no different. We're the same. So at that point, I started having, you know, it felt like a competitive journey with my idols. You know, where it felt like I don't have the cars and the credits and the nothing. I don't have any of that really. I'm talented. I love music and I want to go here. You know what I'm saying? And if you can help me, I definitely want to be a part of that. And however I can help you, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you see value in me to where I could be a part. But I feel like within my career and that I found a lot of jealousy, envy of the pure things that I have. My light, right? My spirit, my light. You can't break somebody's light. You can't break that in a person. You only can, music is one thing, but who they are is another thing, right? So it's like, you might not play my song on radio, but my ability to socialize with people and connect with people, you can't break. I was given that from God. So, and sometimes that intimidates people, right? Sometimes that intimidates people. So when you in a room and you got too much light or you got a personality that's big in a room, then a person with a small personality will look at you as an enemy, you know? Or they'll look at you like, I want to be him, and envy you, and that envy, jealousy, like they'll have those things instead of being motivated or inspired, right? You can't choose where people lean. So that's what I noticed at a certain point in my career. I think it was when I started working with a lot of my idols.
So how do you navigate through that and still be able to be K Major?
Yeah, I think that's where the human you comes, right? So if somebody walk up to you and slap you, no matter where you at, you don't want to fight. Yeah, so it's like when you walk into a room, you professional, right? I got my collar buttoned up, I got my tie on, like I speak professional, like I'm here to do my job and I mean this, like I genuinely came here to do my job and be professional. Like, I don't hate anybody. I don't want to harm anybody, right? But then you get bullied and punched and beat up and kicked to a point where you're like, hey, man, I'm a grown man, bro. I'll beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? You become that person, and then you see everybody kind of like frail. And everybody's scared of you. But then what I learned about the industry is when you do that, now you're hard to work with, or you deemed just aggressive. You know, you just got aggressive personality. And it might have never been me. You know, I never had a really aggressive personality, but respect is another thing. So like I said, sometimes you get pushed to a point of humanness. And I think that's what people mean by sell your soul. I think when you get pushed to that point, you either can sell your soul and say, you know what, I know this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Let me make a lot of money. I'll just be whatever you want me to be. Or it's kind of like, well, now my character says and how I was raised says that don't line up with my belief, right?
Right.
Life in a whole. So I would rather not have the fame and the fortune. Okay. That means that I can keep my dignity and my character and go home and sleep well at night. So I feel like a lot of people have made that decision. You know, I'm not the first. I just feel like I'm the first to kind of break it down in a way that people can hear it and be like, well, dang, that's it. That's I'm not tripping. Like, that's it. So men lie, women lie. That's where I'm at.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Give me maybe like 2 or 3 highlights, your favorite things that has happened to you in the music industry.
Oh man, getting my first placements. Shout out to people like DJ Spinz. People that just saw me at a time and, you know, didn't have to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like people that you've seen winning and getting credits and they just did something small, like acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you hard. Like that go a long way, I think, that, and people don't really notice that changed everything for me. Cause I remember walking up to, and I just use him specifically because we got a lot of music out. And it's like, I remember walking up to him one time in the club and he was like, oh, yeah, beat 7,500. You know, I was like, nobody. Like, bro, I want some beats, 7,500. Talk to my manager. And then you learn relationships. Like Nina Nine's my manager at Sirius Radio. Spinz pulled up to the crib one time. I see him, smoke one with him. Well, I don't even think he smoked. I think I smoked, but smoked one. And then met him then. You know, now I'm signed to Dream. DJ MLK sends me a beat. I do a hook. It's on a Spinz beat, you know what I'm saying? Spinz, what is this? He's like, oh, it's K Major. So that's how I learned value, you know what I'm saying? But those times of people at their level, even DJ MLK, Nina Nine, all these people, to already have motion going on, and their careers going their own life, and to say, he's talented, I'm a rock with him. Whether it was a short time or a long time, those things let me know, like, okay, yeah, it's an affirmation. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because they see it, like, and that's all they see. That's all they're around. But they see me and I'm not even there. And they like, yo, you one of them. You're supposed to be over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's big for me.
Okay, well, I've been seeing all these plaques you've been coming to your place and stuff. You know?
Oh, yeah, man. We set up and we load up. They on every wall. If you was here, you'll see they on every wall. I used to not be a plaque person.
I feel you.
I really still, well, I can't say now I am, but I wasn't a plaque person. But I learned that a lot of doubt, you know, when I would have conversations with people on my angle of the game, or we just be talking in small conversations, it was kind of like my opinion wasn't valued. I felt overlooked even in conversation. You know, it got to that point with me where I hate to say it like this because I don't want the industry to feel away. So it's with all due respect, but I'm anti-industry, right? I don't believe in the aesthetic of the industry right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
The culture of the industry right now, I'm not a fan of. You know, people got their different problems with streaming and stuff like that, but the culture, the people, the hazing.
Yeah, the kiss the ring.
Yeah, the this is supposed to be art that we express ourselves, and then people are supposed to get notoriety for the level they do the art on, like the high level of performance. And it's more like, well, you're not cool with him, so I ain't cool with you, or you ain't have sex with this person, or you ain't paid this person, so and we forget that, especially in Black culture, we forget that we grew up in poverty, we grew up with nothing.
Right.
So, but they expect us to have $1 million to be heard. And I don't remember the world being like that. A lot of things that are the most notable things in the world weren't expensive. They were just value high because of the air. Like the things we're doing now, 100 years from now, none of us will be here, right? And so the things that we're doing now be left here as artifacts. And it's like, what are you doing? So the gatekeeping thing of not showing the highest forms of art from the human society, not putting notoriety to that, or you basically saying you're burying history right in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because the people 100 years from now won't even discover it.
Right.
Or know it was even done. You know, so we got like Etta James, we got just a lot of people, poets and Van Gogh, and you know, it's before a blog site.
That's right. That's right.
But these things really mean something to the culture and art. You know?
Yeah, they've packaged it up and made it a system, you know?
Exactly.
When it was music and we were just supposed to share it, and you know, if you're working hard, great, you know, then it was never supposed to be like, okay, you working hard, but we got this person signed over here, so we're gonna make it look real easy for them, you know?
I did a Black Excellent Awards. I actually won Artist of the Year, but I actually learned more at this award show than ever. I've been to the BT Awards. I've been to a lot of award shows, but this specific, it was in Cartersville. They got their own Black Excellent Awards up there now, right? We done gone to that. Like we're doing it big, like a real award show, like big, but it goes over the history of the people from there and the things that we've done in the world that's been big and impactful. And when I looked into that and I'm learning, I'm like, yeah, a lot of these people weren't famous.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't rich.
Right.
Martin Luther King, I didn't remember them saying he had $10 million or $100 million.
Right. Exactly.
Malcolm X. I just remember these people making impact. So it's like the oversaturation of the market makes us feel like we need that. When really the work you put in every day is validation. You don't know who you motivating, where you motivating them at. Like you doing a radio show right now. If I'm back to my 12-year-old self, or even me at this age, seeing you do it, it's like, dang, I want to, like, dang, bro, how you do that? Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that, and you motivating somebody to be like, man, I want to be on radio. You don't know.
That's right. That's right. That's
beauty
right.
of the art. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. That's what keeps me going.
Well, that's what's up, man. Tell these folk what's up with K Major. What's the next project, and how they can get in contact with you if they need to.
Definitely. Follow me at K Major Music. Website The Real K Major. I'm about to do a contest. So basically, the contest is like men lie, women lie. What's the biggest lie you've been told, right? And the best story that I see, I'm gonna choose like 13 people for a live event to come out to the studio, and we're gonna make a song based on the concept, right? So I'm gonna do that. That's what's coming up next. I'm gonna open that up to the public soon. I'm kind of wrapping my arms around it, my hands around it, my mind around how I want to do that. But I just want to start this conversation and get to the bottom of it, but with people, you know, and stir it up. Let's make content around it. Like, you know, I may give people a chance to get in the video, but I definitely want people at the studio to help me create it. I want to give them an opportunity. I want to open up my subscribers, my fan list, and my fan base, so we can start doing things together and curate events of this kind of energy, you know, this energy. So that's what's coming up now. I'm also putting out songs weekly. I got one coming out Friday called Talk to Me Nice. I dropped one last week called Compliments, and I dropped one a week before that called Noble.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly just feeding people, you know, but at this stage, rather, I'm just making it make sense with what we really talking about. You know what I'm saying? So as we have these conversations, we creating the music, we putting it out. That's where I'm at. So look forward to that from me. Definitely subscribe on my website and on my IG. Look out for the posts, look out for the links, so you can be up to date on all that. We're gonna go.
Okay, beautiful, man. And what do you want to leave them with, man? What you want to leave the people with? Floor 62 Radio, Floor 62 TV, man.
Man, right here today on Floor 62 TV, man. Keep going. Believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest message I can tell you. The world ain't gonna believe in you. It's gonna be people standing right beside you that say they believe in you, that don't believe in you, and you're not tripping. Just always believe in yourself. Search for the truth. Don't put yourself in positions you know you don't like it. Don't do it. You know, stay in your bag. You know, and grow in that direction. Search for new things. Yeah.
Well, y'all just heard from K Major. You know what I'm saying? He's in the ATL right now. He got all the plaques going on right now, but
Hey,
that's just
come
the
on.
beginning. It's just the beginning. And music coming out every single Friday.
Every
And he's
Friday.
going to be tapped into Floor 62 Radio. I'm going to be tapped into the story, the contest, and all of it. So we going to see. Men lie, women lie. So let's see what's going on with it. All right. Thank you, K Major, man. You going to come back to the show, bro?
Definitely. Appreciate y'all having me, man. Anytime.
Okay, cool.
Anytime.
Cool. Well, take care, man. Thank you for coming to the show, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, love, bro.
All love, bro. Wake up, man. Oh, shoot. We back. It's the J.Soul Morning Show. Wake up. I've got another guest for y'all, and y'all not going to believe it. You know, like, I don't know how I got on his schedule. I don't know how, we made this happen. He's very expensive, you know what I'm saying? He don't have that much time. He's produced records like Commas for Future, She Twerking. He done kept you on the dance floor. He's been on the radio, and he's a really good friend of mine, man. I like to introduce y'all and present to other people DJ Spinz. What it do?
What's happening?
My boys in the building. They going crazy. Spinz is in the building. Spinz 808. Spinz, the Cashmere Collector, like the whole thing, man.
Yeah, man. All that. How y'all doing?
It's all good. Tell the listeners where you are today, man.
Man, I'm in Atlanta right now. This is the place I call home. So yeah, I'm kicking it right now. You know what I'm saying? The sun's shining. It's about 75 degrees outside. It's a beautiful day.
Now, we could start where we are now. We could start these people from the beginning. Everybody knows that you from Augusta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And then we've, I've interviewed my cousin Shay. He's from Augusta too. So like, there's a lot of little people don't really know what's going on, man. So tell these people a little bit about your music journey that they don't know from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch on a little bit of that, and then we're going to some personal reflections.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Been doing music as long as I can remember. My grandma and my uncle owned a supper club, so that was kind of like, I guess you could say, the first piece of like knowing music.
What was the name of it?
Mr. J's Famous Dough.
Okay, yes. Where that's at?
Augusta, Georgia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I was rooted. That's where I grew from. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had the pleasure of meeting, Soul, Blends. You know what I'm saying? Which I consider them family, like, because with doing music at such a young age, or taking an interest in what I would say is kind of like a smaller town, not necessarily a major city, but we had major things to come out of our city. But it just was, like, we didn't even have like a guitar center or anything like that. So, just building some camaraderie with people who had the same interests and who also, were gifted in their own ways. It was instrumental to my journey, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, it goes on the other side of the coin too, because music is it's a congregational thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you grow together through, the music. It's a ministry. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I started with in my uncle and my grandma's club, just being there because I had to be there as a family business, and they're playing, blues, you know what I'm saying, disco, all kind of stuff like that, soul, R&B. So that was like my first introduction to it. And the first thing I decided, I was like, okay, I was leaving elementary school, and people was interested in football, interested in basketball. I like sports and shit, but
true.
I was just playing like rec ball, and it was cool. But then by the time I got to like 7th grade, I realized I was not gonna be that tall. So like, I was like, all right, this athlete, it's cool, but let me just kind of focus on the music. And nobody around me right now is doing that. So this is what I'm a stick to. And then that kind of, kicked off my journey to like wanting to be a DJ. And I had already made good friends with the DJ at my grandma's spot. But obviously, he was playing more of the classics. But I'm I'm a lot more grateful of that now than I was back then.
It got you familiar. Okay, got you.
Yeah, it just kind of like, especially when let's just say a lot of people might have just grew up with whatever music was in their time, you know what I'm saying, and didn't have the experience from the older generation. So I feel like it just kind of like, seasoned me a little bit.
Yeah. It gives you that old soul when you can hear that old music and it's playing, and then it's like entertainment business. So you're seeing entrepreneurship, you're seeing all of those things. And in seventh grade, you was like, okay, well, I love music. I love the athlete stuff too, but there's a lot of people who a lot taller, a lot whatever.
Yeah.
So shoot,
I was saying that wasn't finna work out.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I was kind of similar. I was like, I wanted to play basketball and do my thing. It was just like that music it just called me,
Yeah. Yeah, you can't run away from it.
So let's talk about your shift from Augusta and then moving to Atlanta. Like there's a lot of places we could do music. Like why you feel like Atlanta?
I just feel like that obviously was the closest hub to where the most motion was going on, but to me it was just like it was it. Like it wasn't like I had an option like, well, maybe I should go to New York. It was like, nah, like I'm going to Atlanta. Like everything that I wanted to do was in Atlanta. Like I could, all the artists that I was like really into, like they were all, if not from Atlanta, they were in Atlanta, So it just was kind of like, I felt it in my gut and was just like, like this is where I need to be. Like, and also, being grateful that I had that upbringing, because there was a lot of like instrumental things that happened in Augusta that I feel like over prepared me to come to Atlanta. So
you can touch on that.
Yeah, it was just, like when I got here, I came for college. Like that was, that was my that was my ticket in the door.
Okay. You want to shout out to college?
Nah, I don't.
Okay.
But my mom, was like, I'm graduating high school. She's like, you going to school? So she just wasn't gonna let me like wander,
just go to Atlanta and just go to the studio and whatever happens.
Right. And go live a pipe dream, So she was like, school. And then I looked up the Art Institute and then Full Sail at the time. Because I was telling her, I was like, I went to Johnson in Augusta or whatever. It was like an engineering school, but like I hated school. So yeah, I'm like, for college, and I'm already this deep into music, I was like, please don't send me to regular college because I hate school. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like, okay, if you find something that's like that, and then in Atlanta, then cool. You can do that. So we found the Art Institute. She got me some loans. I was able to get in, and I had not a dorm, but like I had a roommate at first. It was in college housing or whatever. Yeah. And I
remember.
Yeah, I was at Metro Point. They call it Westmar now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so did that. Hold on, let me just make sure. What was the question again? So I don't want to go too far off that.
No, we're not going off of it. But okay. But you said there were some things in Augusta that prepared you for being in Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, like, all right, when I want to say, I think I was in like, I had started high school already, and then I realized that Foxy was DJing at
the football games.
The game Friday. Of the week. The game of the week. Yeah. So the thing was, it was like I had got my mom to give me like some cheaper CD players, you know what I'm saying, or like some DJ equipment, but they had CDJs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was like I gotta get. I'm hooked. Like I was a fiend. That was the dope. I needed to get to that. So I started going out there every week, and over time, Ron Thomas. It's just I always got to salute Ron. He ended up giving me an opportunity to DJ on the station. Or at first it was commercial breaks, and then he gave me an opportunity to go live, and then that ended up with me having a show. But that by having a show and having like mentors, because it was actually a lot of good DJs in Augusta. And I feel like when I came to Atlanta, not to say there weren't good DJs, but as far as technically skilled, like when it comes to hands, like, you know, like the sessions when I come over your crib with me and Carl, you know what I'm saying? Like even B-Dubs, Greg Nice, like we grew up, you know what I'm saying, hearing very skilled. Yeah, they was
really
very
great
skilled
DJs.
Yes. Yeah, so when I got up here and then, you know, I was already cool with Scream, and then we just kind of furthered our relationship. He looked out for me and got me a gig. And then when I got to, you know, like the spots and just went to the clubs, I was like, damn, like the music is pretty similar. It's slightly different, but the, like, from what I used to like pride myself on when it come to like skills and like mixing, cutting, stuff like that, I just felt like I was over prepared. You know what I mean? Like I was coming into the class and I had already read all the books.
Right.
You know, you know, maybe into different places to where people hadn't read the books or you know, gotten the techniques down. So I feel like that helped a lot in like me moving along quickly once I got up here, because I was well seasoned.
There's been some people say, well, what does the DJ do type thing? Because, but I think that kind of piggybacks on it, because a lot of people don't know that there are skills when it comes to DJing and sound and how you cut the music, how you transition the music, how you read the room. So there's a lot that DJs do, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we do have to go back and put the respect on the DJ, because they putting the little Tubi movies on about the DJ. It's like, y'all not telling the story.
Not the whole story.
Not the whole story. So that's what I think this is important. You brought up Ron Thomas, you know what I'm saying? We get to, you know, salute people like him. You know, my father was in radio. He knew my father, and, you know, he gave me an opportunity too. So shout out to you, Ron. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Gotta do that.
Yeah. So like, this is platforms where like the people who, you know, don't get mentioned or we forgot to get mentioned, or, you know, like we move through the story. And then we can come back and we, you know, but we're going to be doing these a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
If you're interested, I want to get Spinz back on the show, because I know he's very exclusive. You don't talk to everybody.
Nah. I mean, man, with the home team, I'm always available. I don't like to venture out too much further than that, because it's a lot of, you know, stuff I'd rather not concern myself with.
Yeah. What would you say is your like favorite things that happened to you in the music industry, like your highlights?
Man, it's kind of hard to say that for me, because it's like I enjoy like every part of it, you know. And it's come with a lot of good. It's also come with some bad too, but I just learn to kind of like, you know, be appreciative of the journey, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that I can take from anything that happened in my life. So I try to stay just pretty much even keel. But yeah, I've definitely had like, you know, great times, great moments, you know what I'm saying? Countless moments, you know what I'm saying? And I look forward to just still continuing to make them, you know? It's just, you know, we just got to live life. And that's kind of how a lot of stuff happened. I feel like, I wanted to excel when I came up here, but it was more about just like indulging in my passion. And, you know, that's kind of just led me to, you know, some I guess you could say career highlights or whatever. But yeah, you know.
I just had K Major on the show. And he was like, shout out to people like Spinz, helped me get some of my first placements and was there for me when I didn't even, you know what was going on. Yeah. He was like, I saw Spinz in the club. He was like, I want to. He said he wanted a beat from you. Oh, he was like, you said 7,500. Talk to my lawyer. I was like, okay, Spinz had it down pat from the beginning.
Yeah, I think I was an autopilot back then, but you know, like I said, my friends can get anything from me. So you know, it ain't like that. That's how I like to treat it. You know, because for me, I can say that I've never got a hit from just sending a beat. You know what I'm saying? It's always come from a relationship. You know what I'm saying? A relationship of me building with a person or artist or whatever and just kicking it. Because, you know, we creating stuff like that's our art. You know what I'm saying? That's a piece of us. You know what I mean? So like I know some people treat it very transactional. You know what I mean? I'm not really that type of person. Like I just wanna create with my friends, you know what I'm saying, and just make good stuff, great stuff.
Right. I have noticed, like, if you just do music, if everybody just do music with their friends and just make great stuff, like the people that's in your reach, like you can come up with some really magical stuff.
Yeah, and you know, that's not to say that you can't meet new friends along the way either, you know. So like, you know, somebody you might not know now might become your friend in 2 or 3 years, you know, after you actually built the relationship and you know, built rapport with them. So I'm always open to, you know, I'm never closed off, but I'm just, you know, the industry sometimes will just be like, well, yeah, such and such is working, and I'm like, I don't know them people.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, you know, it's cool, but I don't know.
Cause I'm like, you know, and I don't know if I got this from you, but definitely like I've been around you, so and I know that this is something you do. It's just like you follow that gut, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Follow the energy, you know, just like if you ain't feeling it, it ain't gonna get felt.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
yeah.
Out of there.
So just trusting it. And then earlier you was talking about, you know, it's the good come with it, some bad come with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you want to touch on any adversities you bounce back from in your music journey?
Yeah, man. I tell everybody, like, life is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, to me, about your approach in life. Like, it don't matter if you got $1, it don't matter if you got $1 billion. Like, life is gonna present you with problems constantly. It's just, what's your mindset? Are you a problem solver? Are you a excuse maker? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I try to just fix my mindset to where, you know, I'm a problem solver, or I'm working to solve a problem. Like, if it's something that, you know, confronts me, it's like, okay, I might not get it on the first try, but I'm gonna work to solve the problem. You know what I mean? And I just tell people that all the time, because, you know, on the outside looking in, people could just look at your highlight reel and feel like, oh, okay, it's sweet, everything, you know. And then, you know, on the surface, Instagram, social media, most people are only gonna post their highlights. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, I would like to tell everybody, I feel like it's a mindset that you go through life with. Just be a problem solver, work to be a problem solver, and then it won't be no problem. You know, it won't be no problem that you can't overcome.
Right.
And you know, like, I think the problems kind of like build character. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a rich person who never had to work for anything usually tends to not have as much character as somebody who worked for everything they got. You know, so, you know, I love that part of it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I put some bricks together to get here. Like, it wasn't just I was born with a silver spoon. Like, you know what I mean? We got to put some work in.
Yeah. Now, you definitely been putting the work in, man, and like you said, we have to learn from the things that it ain't always sweet. It ain't always the best. You know, like, you could have the #1 song, but then now you got a traffic of people who good and a traffic of people who bad, you know, because you have more visibility.
That, and also, like, let's just say you can get a #1 song, and then the same day you get the #1 song, your dog died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it be stuff like that. You know what I mean? People be thinking in the, you know, just the professional realm, but it's like, shit, everybody got to live life. You know what I mean? Everybody got family. You got all kind of stuff. And like I said, life is gonna life, man. And what I've been saying, you know, it's just about, you know, how you graze through, you know what I'm saying, and how you deal with it.
Got it. So you got a couple of companies, Tune Freak, Cashmere Collective. Right. Talk about the formation of these companies and what's coming up.
Okay, yeah, so Tune Freak Recordings, that's my independent label. Probably been working on it maybe close to 10 years now, and you've been a very instrumental part of Tune Freak, of just helping me build it. So I'm very grateful for that. But it's kind of like a space where I release like my art as far as like my artist work, my friends' artist work, you know what I'm saying? So anything that I'm kind of behind when it comes to urban music, I've been releasing it under Tune Free Recording. So that's an ongoing process. Very, very grateful for that. And just to have that outlet that I built and, you know, just to share my art with people. Just because I feel like more people, and, you know, rightfully so, were in tune with just my journey as a producer. So as I branched out into, you know, my artistry, I feel like I had to create a space for it, you know, and I'm still doing that and very happy with, you know, the growth in it.
I gotta get me some more TF hoodies, man. We gotta, you know, we gotta show up again with the TFs.
Yeah, man. More vibe outs, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm working on that too. Definitely working on that. So, Cashmere Collective is another piece, which I'm very, very passionate in, and building that for maybe like 6 years, which again, you know what I'm saying? You played an amazing role in. Soul's on the first EP, you know what I'm saying? We released, like you said, 3 records this year. So Cashmere Collective to me though is a community service project. And it's to me, I just my ultimate goal is to be a place where creatives can create, you know what I mean? And share their art with the world, whether it's, you know, music, it's drawing, it's sketching, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's planning events or anything, you know what I'm saying, whatever your art may be, I feel like you're a part of the collective, you know?
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's it's been going good. I feel like we're entering phase 2 right now. We've built the foundation, music and like instrumental wise, which is, you know, that's gonna continue nonstop. But now we're setting up events, you know what I mean, to start to, you know, get in the community and just, you know, collab with different movements and different people that we see spreading, you know what I'm saying, the light. So that's basically in a nutshell what Cashmere is.
I'm gonna be up in there, man. It's smooth, it's fresh, you know, and it's a balance. It's like you need the tune freak urban situation, you know.
Right.
Like racks, you know.
For sure.
But you also, you know, like you kicking it over here, you got the, you know, the lo-fi and you know, you feel, you know, it feels luxurious. It feels like it got a good little thing to it.
Yeah, you can water your plants, you know what I'm saying? Get you some work done, you know what I'm saying? Meditate.
Yeah, it's almost, you know, like, you know, and I know that this ain't what we had in mind, but you know, Lil Jon went from the crunk era. Now he's like, you know, like let's zen it out. You know, like let's get these folk a balance.
You know, it's crazy because so many people hit me about Andre first. You know what I'm saying? Because they seen I've been doing the instrumental thing for like 5 years now, 4 or 5 years, and it's like, yeah, you see Andre's coming out with a Flute album. I'm like, yeah, that's dope. Like, I'm glad that these bigger figures are showing, you know, that you can, you know, grow and you can do other things. So, you know, because the industry likes to, you know, try to categorize and put people in boxes, but we're living beings, man. We go through phases, we go through seasons. So I'm just all about the expression of that. So I love, you know, and Lil Jon is one of my favorite producers of all time. Part of the reason I do music. So he was a heavy influence in my childhood, even though I never really got to, you know, just meet him like that. But just from afar looking in and seeing, you know, his impact. And to me, I feel like he's been successful in like 5 genres, like at least.
Yeah,
you know, and even created. I think he even created like 2 genres, like you know what I'm saying. So it's like,
bless, like, man, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, very, very, very influential. I always want to give him his flowers.
For sure. Now, how important is like keeping positivity, you know, in your mix and all of that, and your energy as far as creating? Like, how important is that to you?
It's very important, man. Like, it's, like I said, life is full of different experiences. So to me, part of my problem solving algorithm has been to, stay positively charged. And there's so much that can bring you down just from social media to, your peers, to the news, to whatever's going on in the world. That's, why I like to have an escape. Like, I have to meditate. I have to have Cashmere Collective in my life to kind of, balance me out. Like, I might go off too far to the left, and then it's like, okay, I can come back and get my zen right here with Cashmere. You know what I mean? It's like I come back to that to continue to reset. That's been like the reset frequency for me. And I feel like that's important for all human beings. So that's why, I wanted to share that art with people, because I'm like, it helps me. So hopefully it can help somebody else.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's cutting through, or do you feel like sometimes people just feel like DJ Spinz is just listening to all trap beats all day, like only making trap beats? Or like...
Well, from the way I see it now, like, yeah, in the beginning, I'm sure like when they saw me post like the first instrumental album or whatever, they like, okay. Then they see me post another instrumental album, they're like, okay. Another one. It's like, oh, maybe I should listen this time. You know what I mean? And so I've seen, the transition. You know what I mean, from where I started at the beginning of this journey to now, and I definitely could say that I'm very pleased with the amount of people that I've been able to affect, and I hope that I can affect a lot more.
Yeah. No, you've been all over the country, really all over the world, Japan, Singapore, like just to name a few. But I'm thinking like, well, how has that travel, impacted, your way of thinking as well?
Man, travel is amazing. Just to me, for the simple fact of the perspective that you gain every time you travel. So I tell people all the time, like, especially when I run into somebody who might be complaining about a situation, which I recently had to talk about, and I'm just like, man, I know, from being, of faith, I'm sure you heard the term a lot of times, you don't know how blessed you are. But I really like to reiterate that to people, because in my travels, I've seen a lot of, cool things, but I've also seen, people living in conditions that I couldn't imagine. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that we live in America, and America is what it is. But from my travels and my 10s and 20s of countries that I've seen, we are very, very blessed. And then not even in the sense of you're driving a Benz or a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or anything like that. If you could be out here in a 1-bedroom apartment, you have AC, you have, like your mother said, a roof over your head, you have a bathroom. Like, I don't think people understand that people don't have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
electricity and light.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to the grocery store. You don't have to kill your food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, the traveling just opened my brain up to see, like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff out here, and like, a lot of the shit, people act like brats about, or excuse me, I don't know if I can curse, but the stuff that people act like brats about, like, man, like, you're extremely blessed, man. It could be worse.
Definitely.
It could be worse. Definitely.
Well, Spinz, I ain't ready for you to go yet, you know what I'm saying? But I've enjoyed
I appreciate it.
I've enjoyed the conversation, and I gotta make sure that I invite you back, that we continue this going on. This is Floor 62. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the building, like,
yes, sir.
this is where we're gonna be at. So we're gonna turn up Tune Freak, we're gonna turn up Cashmere Collective, we're gonna turn up DJ Spinz, man. What do you want to leave the people with?
Hey man, I just want to leave them with peace, man. Thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? Just want to send love and peace, man.
Okay, well, y'all heard it, man. Look, from Augusta, Georgia, It's my brother from another mother, man. Shout out
You know
to
what
your
I'm
mom. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to Mama Soul. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
All
mean?
good. All good.
Very
Thank
grateful.
you. Thank you, Spinz, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, man.
All right, peace.